I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
That Sports for the best authentic sportswear. You check Wilton Sports when you want the best authentic sportswear. Wilton Sports. Food change advertise fee. And if you roll out the numbers, remember, no easy laugh, no off.
Some sports where for take notes. Them full of dreams and hopes. Then why them come and sell rope? When there is only one, yeah, there is only one goat. And that's a Wilson, yeah, that's a Wilson, yeah, that's a Wilson sports. Yeah, ball boots, ball tops, ball shots, shin guard, ball socks. Them kind of drip you quick for make your ex call back. Little quickness in my boots and ball out, me want that. My Nike ticky pretty and my Adidas all black. Dribble down you feel it, grip and feel me can't drop. Slide tackle all, me own a team and know this now pop. Why? Because me buy the supper. Some sports where for take notes. Them full of dreams and hopes. Then why them come and sell rope? When there is only one, yeah, there is only one goat. And that's a Wilson, yeah, that's a Wilson, yeah, that's a Wilson sports. Yeah, ball boots, ball tops, ball shots, shin guard, ball socks. Them kind of drip you quick for make.
All right. Good morning. Yes, indeed. We are blessed indeed. No stress around here. We are God blessed around here. And in everything, you don't know how it is. We give thanks because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning us. How is your day, my beautiful, beautiful people? Jamaicans, home and abroad. People of other nationalities. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Maninsman. After a very lengthy weekend, we are here with another show. Lots of information to cover today. Lots of stuff happening. But of course, we want to take the first few minutes of our show to encourage you to do a few things and also to offer some encouragement to you. What is our encouragement? Right? Here's the thing. We have the opportunity to use the lemons that are thrown at us on a daily basis to make lemonade instead of allowing them to make us get sour and bitter. Don't let your life be filled with bitterness. Keep a clean heart, a mind that is pure. Don't allow your life to be filled with negativity. Don't allow that. Please don't allow that. Because here is what it will destroy your sanity, it will destroy your peace of mind and peace of life or in life. And you don't want that. Because once you have lost that, I promise you that once you have lost that, then you will have countless and countless amount of problems in this life. So stay good and be good. Don't allow negativity to fill your life. Put yourself around positive people. I don't know if you know this, but God created the creator, whatever you call him, whatever you refer to him as. He created place before he created people. So that means that, guess what? Guess what? You want to know the truth? Place is environment. I have trained myself to keep myself in the best environment, and that has helped me to grow as an individual. So I encourage you to watch the environment. Guard your ear gate, your eye gate, and the gate of your heart. Because what you allow inside of you, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, it will have an impact on the output of your life. All right? Once you hear this sound again, when you hear it again, it means it is time for you to call in. So, as usual, we ask you to do 3 things and a couple others. One, if you have not yet subscribed to I Am Sure Sports, would love you to subscribe to the platform. We are like at 6,700 and something subscribers. We're not complaining. We are very happy for every person who subscribed to this channel. We have real subscribers, real people who have subscribed to this platform. And we are grateful for every single one. We understand that some people will unsubscribe, and that's fine. And some people will just watch, and that's fine. All right? But here's what we all must know, is that as people, we need to support each other. This is not a racial comment, but I find it from my experience that when it comes on to the black race, that we have this way of trying to tear each other down. I've watched many programs on the ESPNs and those things, and I always hear black host and guests just tearing down other black people. Let us support the black race and support one another. Let us support Jamaicans. Once they're doing good works, let us support them. All right? You can watch the video, because that is important. You can like the video. You can become a member of the channel. All right? We have a deal that we because we do other things. The channel has opened the door for us to do some other things. So we have a deal that we're signing with a major clothing company. Yes, indeed. And what will happen is that you will be able to get merchandise that represents I Am Sure Sports from that major company, big brand. All right. And you'll get them at special I Am Sure prices for our members. So you can be a member. You can also support by giving a super sticker and a super chat to the channel. All right? Come on, Tennessee. You stop giving super chat and super sticker. You, Tennessee. You, Neil. Can't play ball. 2 left foot you have. Big up man like Baggio in the building. Ricardo Baggio out there in Canada. Rob Simmons, bless up yourself. Yeah, big up Jason. Big up Richard Green, up and running. All right. Yeah. 4-3-3 presser. How you doing? What position Manchester United finishing in? All right. The Press TV, go out and check him out, doing some content. Did a video saying why I hate Jamaica. Hey, pressure, 4-3-3 pressure. Here's one thing I know. Don't clickbait. Grow your thing authentic and real. All right? And people will appreciate that. They know that what you say is what you will do. All right? Don't clickbait. You understand me? Yeah. All right? Triple E up and running. All right. Fresh God is here. Lulu. Hey, Lulu, me ain't even talking to Lulu. You now move right to me. I come in your town, you know, Lulu. I know you don't link me yet, you know. Lulu, me ain't even talking. You understand me? You know, understand how you operate. But today we need to talk, you know, because I'm not going to be in your town, you know. S Technique Skip, bless up yourself, you know. Yeah. All right. Alan Wedderburn, Marvin, bless up. You sent me a gift. Brother, every day you send gift, man. And keep on sending the gift, because every time you send a gift, Arsenal win. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Man, I have a question. What happens when there's a conflict between supporting another black brother, protecting the gateway to your soul? I don't understand the question there, you know. Not being so. One Jamaica, no to quota, all or nothing. Totally agree. No quota. Totally agree. Miss Ali, blessings. All right, so let's start talking people. All right, so where do I begin? Let's see. Where should I begin? All right. Where should I begin? All right. Listen. All right. So let me do this, right? All right. Treasure Coast Masters. All right. Reedy and demand them. Hey. All right, let me just show you these people and then we'll get into something. All right. Because we love support. Again, want to remind you about the passing of the Manning's stalwart and great Cecil Pringle, former national Reno Manning's player. Yeah. Passed recently. We spoke about it before, but condolences to him and his family. For those of you who know him, you can call in the program and just talk about your experience with him. All right. Big up CF fans. But let me just show you these people. Treasure Coast Masters. Treasure Coast Masters. Yeah. You understand me? Out there in Port St. Lucie, they're having Memorial Weekend, Sports and Fun in the Sun Weekend 2024. Friday, meet and greet. Saturday, family and friends, beach and sports day. Pepper Park Beach. You understand me? Sunday, 8 versus 8. Soccer extravaganza. Open and Masters and display. Team from Freddie Butler's Academy, Rum team out of Atlanta, and all South Florida's finest. Entry fee $300 US per team. Open tournament cash prize 1,000. And the cash prize is also look over 1,000 US. Look how we talk about it. 1,000 US. Look how we talk about it, man. Top up the 1,000 US there. Make it 10,000 US. So stay tuned for more information. Call 954-245-7631. That is 954-245-7631. And shout out the man, them call him Reedy. Yeah. All right. When is it? Memorial Weekend. If you don't leave a fire, you don't know when that is. Really, you have to put the date. Memorial Weekend. Whatever man they are Jamaica want fly up there. You don't know when a Memorial Weekend. Well, I'm here reading, man. Give the people them the date on the flyer, man. A international, a global thing. What if some of my friends them from Ghana want fly over, from Trinidad want fly over? They need to know the date. The date. You understand me? So make sure you do an explore with the date on it. All right? Yes, indeed. All right, people. Can say. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, it's a teaser flyer. All right. Poor monies, man. Oh, me never know them do them thing there. All right. Yeah. Hey, me have a thing here, so wait there, you know. Lordy. And me can't find him. Big up, Rory. You understand me? Tolo. Yo, Tolo. Big up yourself. Tolo, me can't put up your thing, you know, too much. Yo, people, even want me do up, say a thing about a thing when I have. You can't put no naked people on it and no half-dressed people on it. Man can't promote them kind of thing there. You understand me? All right? Bless up in a Tolo. All right. You know that me have something when we get G's and peace. I wait there, you know, man. I wonder if I hit this. Let me see if I hit this. So let's start with the first article that was I saw it today. It says, this is Raymond Anderson. Bless up Anthony Mac. All right. Yeah. Jason Guna, bless up. Boss Thomas, bless up. Listen, yeah, man. No, girl, not them. We can't put up them flyer there for me thing. Me is a pastor. Oh, no, know that. Me is a pastor. Me can't put up them thing there. So everyone want the flyers them off here clean. Me don't want to hear about no big sound on them. No, sir. Me not work with the program there. All right. True, people, don't it? Yeah, we have to. All right. Okay, so Jamaica Football Federation, JFF presidential candidate. Yeah, man. Cecil Pringle worked in Sub. He was at he worked in Sub Nitro. Raymond Anderson says he has 350 million Jamaican dollars. All right. In the bag, the duffel bag, waiting to spend it if the imperative word is elected. No. Hey, me ask, me reach out to him. I say, Mr. Anderson, come talk to me, no, man. Because I don't want the people them feel like the man is one-sided. Because until recently, I never had anything with the president, but he came on when we were talking to Mr. Chung. So I reached out and I said, even I sent a voice note to someone connected to him and asked them to even play the voice note that I'm inviting him to come. Haven't gotten a response yet. But here's people, tell me if I'm wrong or me a bit too hard. All right. Number one, here's what it says. If elected, let me read it again. Jamaica Football Federation presidential candidate Raymond Anderson says he has 350 million in the bag waiting to spend. So he has received the money if to spend if elected and wants to use the bulk of that fund to assist Women's Football and Parish Association. My question is, when the politicians, the JLP and the PNP get money and election coming up, them start spend it. They don't wait until they get elected. Them start patch road. Them start pay for vote. Them start buy fertilizer. Them buy some of the white chicken them. And them build house. Them buy block. Them buy cement. My advice to Mr. Anderson is this. Start spending money now. Start spending it today. Because here's why. Why would you say if? So if you don't get elected, nah. What will happen to the money? If you are not elected, what will happen to the $350 million? So you spending this money is only if you get elected. So if you don't get elected, that money gone where? Because you receive it already. Let's read a little further, people. We're going to talk today. Me just ask question. You understand me? Maybe they have a plan. So we just asking questions. Anderson, who is set to battle incumbent Michael Ricketts for the JFF presidency on March 17, revealed that he has been getting widespread financial support from a number of interest groups and person. Very dangerous precedents. You must say from businesses. When they say interest group, now you put yourself in a pickle, Please don't put yourself in a pickle. When you say interest group, you should say business. When you say persons, who are these individuals? Dangerous precedence is being set. Right? But as I say, you don't need to need to hire man's man to come and read through some of them things here, Because how this is worded, it leaves too much to speculate. Because once you start saying persons and you don't mention businesses, then the question of conflict is going to arise. All right? He pointed out that they have already declared 200 million. And recently, another sponsor committed 150 as they want to revive the local women's game and inject new life into parish association. All right, so here's my problem, Here's my problem. One, this is not a lot of money. But if people, this is what we can't understand Jamaica in general. Just Jamaica. Big up yourself, Mr. Anderson, because here's what. If you listen to, if you can garner this kind of money, I think that's a big deal. Because I don't hear Mr. Ricketts saying he has raised any money, he has any money coming from anywhere. So the fact that you have been able to get 350 million Jamaican dollars, little some people may say that's like 2 million US. 150, 155, 2 million US. That's a very, very big deal. Big deal. I will commend you and your team for that. All right. Once all of this materializes. All right. But in the wording of this, you have left a lot to speculate and ponder, because you are suggesting that right now, people, an interest group, they have given you $200 million. Follow me? $200 million Jamaican to invest in parish associations and women's football. So the question is, why would they give it already if it is dependent on you being elected? So you need to just clarify and say, you have not received the money. Just say that. So it is in pledges and commitment that we have. We have people who have committed to do this. Don't suggest as if, right? Don't suggest as if the money has already been given, because once you're elected, people are going to want to start seeing the money. And if it was pledged, there's no guarantee that you're going to get it. If you already have the money, then people are going to ask you, if you don't get elected, what you do with the money. So I think how this document itself is written, it leaves a lot to be desired. And you have some very, very highly intelligent people over there, I be a KC, not Kingston College, King's Council, As some brilliant minds over there, Hey, man can't walk at them people to class. So when I read the thing, I shouldn't have these questions. All right, let's go on. we have already have 200 million. You see it again? You already have $200 million, you know. 100 million for women, 100 million with parish federation to help with areas of administration, which will help develop the football from the grassroots, he said. Now, here's my thing. You have this money, and there are parishes right now who need money. So give 10 parish 10 million each. That's my point. Why are you waiting? By the time this, because remember, you know, according to persons in your camp, there's going to be no election. There are persons in your camp who believe there will be no election even this year. So what are you going to do with the money? Because there's going to be injunction after injunction after injunction after injunction after injunction after injunction, if I follow what you're saying. So my point is this. Why would you have $100 million when some parishes are struggling to even start their major league right now? Give them some of the money, because I think, here's what I believe. If you can start pumping the money now, then people will vote for you. If you go down a center and give them $10 million for their major league, Danny Beckford on your side. Yeah, you are give money for help with the administration. Where the money come from? All right. Hey, Mr. E, call me. What kind of propaganda may I spread? Me just read an article. Hey, people now see all of the comments. Me just sit down. All right. Mr. What kind of propaganda may I spread? May I read the article and I ask questions? People, if you think I'm spreading propaganda, call and tell me. Call and tell me. Because all I am doing is reading the article and, hey, all right, people, you see today, people, first thing, hey, Miguel make a point. You see, first thing, none of the president them, not forget no money from nobody. Any money anybody giving, it's supposed to go to the Jamaica Football Federation. That means whomever is the president have access to it. So, all I'm doing is asking questions. But today is what I call, Haters Day. You know what I mean? So, a lot of people, them in the shadows, them in the shadows because they have been sent an assignment to find out what man is man going. More, see the one, boy. Hey, hear them in their mind, no? More, all right, you wait. My whole one, you do what? Boy, man is man, are going, because you see them, boy, them man is man. Hey, all right, me just go over there. Me not want to like them, boy, that video, Me just go over there, go watch it, Me say, but are you say propaganda me a spread? So me I ask you, why you tell me say me a spread propaganda? All me I do I read the article and I ask question and you say me a spread propaganda. Me say, hey, yo, me say, behave yourself. Hey, I mean say we in a group, you understand this? I mean and them one day. We talk a few of us. Yo, YouTube is joking, brother. If you follow YouTube, if you take YouTube seriously and then platform here, you're going mad. You have to take it. Big up yourself, Mr. E. You see, they want us to give parishes 10 million each. And Mr. Anderson. All right, so here's what he said. All right, let me just read let me just read the article. All right, we already have 200 million. 100 for women and 100 million to assist with the parish federation to help with areas of administration, which will help develop football from the grassroots up, he said. Anderson added that the person who made the 150 million commitment recently wants the funds to go mainly towards supporting the parish association. So what this is saying is that they have already received, right? They have already received 100, right? They have already received 100 and 100 and they have already received 100. Well, they have already received 200 million, 100 for the parish association. But a next person, he didn't say a business, a company, but an individual says that if Anderson win, they are going to give him $150 million, which is supposed to go towards the parish association. All right? I'm telling you, these things are troubling. All right? I think this $350 million should be used to fix up the National Stadium, or to fix up Catherine Hall, or to a them thing there, because we not no stadium that Jamaica. But that's my opinion. You understand me? Based on the proposal we put forward, they want to help even more because parish football is where it should start. They want to give the parishes 10 million each. Anderson said, all right, I am not going to talk about this because, like I said, first, I don't want anybody to believe them because the fact that they can get in commitment, whether they have it now or they go and get it, this amount of money is a good deal. But you see, this idea keep coming back up where we're going to be pumping money into parish football. I hope that we don't connect it to the national team, because the idea that if parish football is good, then you're going to have a great national team is a farce, in management opinion. It is presenting to me the idea that we need to build parish football because we're too reliant on people who are not a part of the parishes in our national teams. And me not believe in that. I believe no matter how great our parish football is, no matter how fantastic it is, our national team will always be made up of people who are plying their trade outside of Jamaica, because their development will always be on a faster trajectory. Mr. Brian Myton himself, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to your listeners. So I've been listening to you from the inception of the program. But I don't really agree with some of the things that you're saying, though.
Okay.
Because I think I understand your perspective in terms of the wording of the article. But to be fair to Mr. Anderson, though, he was not the one who wrote that article. So he could have been answering the questions in an interview, and then the editor, the person who wrote the article, could have produced the literature in a way in which it is being presented now, or that we're reading. So I don't think you can blame him too much, because journalists are like that sometimes. You will say one thing, and the way in which they present it, it can be misleading, or can give off a different view.
Okay,
so
there's a part that says we already have 200 million. This is open quote. We already have 200 million, 100 million for women, 100 million to assist with parish federations to help with the areas of administration, which will help develop football from the grassroots up, he said. So you're saying that like that part could be a journalist.
But he could have said, he could have also have said that we have 200 million pledged or committed, and they left out that part.
Oh, so they okay. So what you mean? You're saying that he could have said it was pledged to them, but
they left out that part.
They left out that part. Okay.
Yes. So because usually when in the regular campaign, the scheme of campaign and elections, you know that people normally have supporters who would pledge resources to them if they were to become successful. I think the difficulty I'm having with that, though, is usually these people want something in return. So I don't know what that would be in this context. But I think it's reasonable to say that, I understand that it possibly could be that the money was pledged to him. And then in the pledges, the people probably were saying, or based on his proposal that he would have presented, the money is, he's saying that this is how the money is going to be allocated and stuff. So I wouldn't be too hard on him for that part because it's
But
possible
Brian,
that
all right,
they
but
misinterpreted him or they misrepresented what he was saying.
okay, all right. I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to say that. Let me give it that. All right, so Mr. Mr. Anderson was misrepresented. So this article is not a true reflection of what he may have said.
It is possible.
All right, so I'm going to work with that possibility. I'm going to
Yes.
work with that possibility. So the people, I'm going to be very reasonable. This article is not a true reflection of what Mr. Anderson said.
No, you have to say the word could
That's how I said that.
or may not be a true representation.
This article may not be
Yes.
a representation of what Mr. Anderson said. So I think we need to move on to the next topic then, because I can't
Yes.
discuss.
Hold on. For the next part of what you were saying,
But I can't discuss it. No, but we
hold,
can't.
hold on, minutes. Hold on. You made a point earlier. You said
Hold on. So what? No, hold on. No. So here's what. Everything that I was reading and asking questions about, I'm retracting every single thing. Because if the article may not be a true reflection of his sentiments, then I don't think it is fair to discuss it. Any at all.
yes,
And
but you said something earlier that I would like to address.
okay, go ahead.
You were saying that
Remember, I'm retracting everything, people, because
yes,
again, the article may not be a representation of Mr. Anderson, and he did not write it because you said that, right? He's not the
yes,
one who did. And
yes.
those quotes are not a true, may not be a true representation of what he actually said. So I need to, you understand me? We could question the credibility of the, all right?
Okay, so what I'm saying now is earlier you were saying that
I'm saying, Brian, you cannot address a thing that I've retracted because you said, based on what you said, it don't make no sense. We have the because I'm retracting it, so we can't have a discussion on it. Because any discussion you have, it is based on an article that is not real. That could not be. Maybe it's not real. So what? Nothing that I said has any point and merit.
yeah, but you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Earlier you said that in our Jamaican politics, like regular election politics, when caretakers or members of parliament get donations and stuff, they would spend it leading up to the election. Of course, members of parliament or persons who are in power would have that level of resources at their disposal, and then caretakers could get money from donors or whatever you call it, and they would spend money in an effort to try and entice people to vote for them. I was just saying, I don't know if in that sense I would consider it some sort of like vote buying.
Well,
But I don't know if that would equate to a sporting fraternity. Like,
you come back to this, it don't make any sense. We even discuss that. It don't make sense because this article could possibly be not real.
but it could possibly be real too.
Yeah, but I can't discuss it based on. But we can't discuss it. If we are saying the possibility exists that even the things that are quoted are not, it may not be. Let me use that. May not be a reflection of the thoughts of Raymond Anderson and what he said. To even mention the whole thing about spending money.
Management, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in the news?
If I've ever been long time from me around 12-year-old, I've been in the news. You can search back.
Yes. You have never said something one way and someone portrayed it another way?
If I've ever said something
One way, like exactly.
No. What I'm saying is that on this today, somebody, Mr. E was saying it's propaganda, and I asked him why.
Okay.
So it's possible that here somebody can misunderstand what I am saying. So misunderstanding what somebody is saying is different from a credible newspaper quoting somebody and that quote may not be right. That's a completely different thing. That is where you have lawsuit. So if the newspaper quotes me, all right, I have a thing where I think it was Oral Tracy said something about Brown Man or something like that. And he spoke to me and he said, you know what? You said I said, but what you actually said was paraphrasing what I said. You said it, I said, because you're saying so once you say the person said, you're quoting the person. The newspaper said, he said. What you are saying is that even though the newspaper said that and have it in court, it is possible that he never said that. I am saying that is grounds for serious lawsuit.
Well, I'm only putting that point out because I am struggling to think that the goodly presidential candidate would say he have money already to spend and he will only spend it if him win. I don't think he would say that. I don't think he would say that. And therefore, on that basis, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that they may have misrepresented him.
So if you got money, Brian, let me just ask you, hypothetically speaking, got money and you were not the president, would you still spend the money?
In football, in Jamaica?
Yeah. So I'm not saying that he's wrong, you know.
No, man, I'm hearing you. I am thinking about it. I'm gonna answer you this way.
Yeah.
So I would say no. And here's why I'm gonna say no.
What do I say? Hold
on. Yeah. I'm campaigning on the basis that I think this is me now. Say I'm campaigning on the basis that I think, okay, so let's say you management is the president.
Yeah.
And I'm campaigning against you on the basis that I think that you are not doing an effective job as president. I think that I have said that you have been wasteful in resources, you have allocated resources incorrectly. And so if I am able to attract money to be spent in football, unless I personally can spend it as an individual, I am not going to make it available to you for you to spend. And so if that wasn't the case, I would give back the money to the people who gave it to me.
Give back. All right, so here's the problem I have. I think his position, using the if, I think that's a reasonable position. Two things I've said. One, I think the fact that either by pledge or actually getting the money, the fact that this has been raised, whether the article is accurate or not, I think that is good in and of itself, because I have not heard from the other side that they have raised any money. So I gave credit for that. The second, I am also in agreement that if I am anti your organization, right, and people are supporting me and they give me money, I'm just saying that if it is real, why would I then take that money and enhance an organization that I am in total opposition against in terms of how they operate?
That's why I'm saying he would give it back.
All right. So here's my issue now. That is why, unlike our political parties, when it comes to football, I don't think people should be giving monies to the presidential candidates for the football, because it doesn't belong to them. That is my issue. So my issue is, whoever is planning and support, what they should have come out and said, these people they're the ones who should write. Here is my position. They should say, if Mr. Anderson were the president, we will come on and support him as a sponsor for the program in these areas. Not the presidents, not Michael Ricketts, not Mr. Anderson, because they are not, the JFF don't belong to them. So people should.
You are saying that pledges or sponsorship should be given to the federation as an entity.
Yes, in other words.
But I'm assuming that's how it will be.
No, but what I'm saying to O'Brien is that then he should not. What I'm saying that you can't put an article out, say your team or your group or you have received the money. If it
Someone is man. You honestly, in your heart of heart, believe say the money where that is being spoken about is in a bank account with his name.
brother.
You don't believe that, brother.
No,
You don't believe that.
people.
You don't
All right.
believe that.
All right, so people, here's all right, Brian. Here's what I'm saying. I don't know if it makes sense to you, right? Say, Mytons and Stennett, law firm, right? We like the what they call that thing that they did, manifesto.
Yes.
All right, we like the manifesto of Anderson. What should happen is that, hey, Mr. Anderson, we are going to support you, win the election. All right. But any public statement should be, Brian and Myton, will give to the Anderson team, if they lead, this amount of money. Same thing if we're supporting Ricketts.
Yes.
Because that way, people can still leave the money for the federation. If the donation and the sponsorship or the pledge is for the person, to me, that comes across as if I have really no interest in the growth of football, unless, which is what you're saying, unless there is a way that I am going to benefit from it. And that is why I believe that if this person gets it, it will be of benefit to me. So that is why I'm going to give it to them specifically. That's how it comes across, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's how it would work in like regular politics, but I'm saying in terms of a sporting organization, like even like football or cricket or whichever one of those entities, where I don't know if the same scenario could apply though, in terms of, because the truth is, if I heard that either candidate at this point in time is coming out now and doing massive work in parishes and whatever, I would think that they are buying votes. So, and I wouldn't want for it to be like that. So I kind of agree with him to say if he wins, then he'll put this money in the program. So I'm not too perturbed about that perspective, because if let's say him come now and say, hey, I have 10 million each to give to each parish associations right now, today on the 12th, people will say that him coming to buy votes, wouldn't they? So it's better, but I guess either way, me think him to a safer line when him say, if them win, he will invest this money in the sport or in the parish associations or wherever I'm going to invest in women's football, whatever the case.
Okay.
I think that's a safe.
You think vote buying is not wide scale in every era of life where there's an election? You don't believe that there's vote buying?
Yes, I agree. I'm saying I don't agree with it.
Really? Sabran, if for the next election they said that they're giving you a piece of land and to set up a business, just come and support them. You are saying that you're not taking the land and starting the business? No interest?
With the promise of voting for a party?
Yes.
No.
All right.
I'm telling you. No, because the truth is, I am very, what you call it now?
Moral and ethical?
No, man. Not in that way. I'm just saying I'm wary of politicians, So I try not to be involved in anything political.
All right.
Once it has to do with a political process, I try not to be involved in it like that.
Yeah. All right, Chris Wayne said, listen, when head boy I run final, I'll phone card them by give man, brand. It happen everywhere, brother.
Me not say no, but me not think that right. Me not think it right. I agree with the stealing the money, but me just think it right.
You don't think Trump and Biden are by vote?
Yes,
Oh.
I don't. They should, but I know that they are doing it in a ways.
You don't think FIFA by vote?
Yes,
You don't think Carliman ever want to host World Cup by vote?
yes, but I'm saying I don't agree with it.
Okay.
But I know it's something that is not that you and I can't really control per se. But I don't think it's right. But people have their own views and their own rationales to doing stuff.
Yeah, Cranky's here. People, for some of you are saying that I want Anderson to go and get money and give it to Ricketts. Please do not. That's what Brian just said. Do not misrepresent me. Don't misrepresent me. Don't misrepresent me.
Man, if you boss Thomas there, that's the reason why I'm not take it.
All right, go ahead, Cranky, because you're here.
Look, I mean, no society is a utopia. People use incentives to get what they want in life, no matter where you are, what you're doing. Sometimes the incentive is cash. Sometimes the incentive is a position I may give you. Sometimes I may fix your road. Sometimes I may fix your water. Whatever I need to fix to incentivize you to vote for me. It happens in every country, probably. In every country, I would say. But there is degrees to it, right? There's degrees to it. It's like you commit a crime. A murder is just worse than stealing an icicle, right? There's pervasiveness and degrees to it. And in the football, you would hope the voter, who are probably be senior personnel in the society, have more integrity to them. And even though they want to be benefactors of whatever is transpiring, that they would have more of a patriotic, nationalistic, and a strategic perspective on what they're trying to achieve versus just voting for some small token. That's my perspective. I did listen to Make We Talk a little bit last night, not a lot. Raymond was on there with one of your best friend, Manningsman, who used to always seem to have a challenge with, a gentleman from Old Carib United. You know who it is. And it was an interesting conversation. I didn't listen to a lot, but
where was
that? On a show called Make We Talk.
Oh.
And Raymond was on there with Danny Beckford was on there. A gentleman who I remember his name, but you and him have had some issues in the past. He used to be part of Carib United in the US. He's been here for a long time. They were talking about the football, and Danny was, people were saying Danny should be president. They got people calling, and he gets a lot of laudatory comments for Danny. But I would say to people that there's always multiple sides to stories and perspective on things. I know when I'd asked Raymond what he has accomplished in football, I still didn't get a good answer yet. That made me feel comfortable. He was mentioning corruption in the JFF. And people should be careful in life, because when you say people are corrupt, the question is, where's the evidence? When you say someone is corrupt and you're part of that organization, then are you part of that corruption? How can you not be part of the corruption? And if you know it's corrupt and you've been there for, 18 years, then you're culpable, you are not who you're portraying yourself to be. It just doesn't make sense to me why you would espouse that view and at the same time you're part of it, because you're trying to achieve the goal of being the president for the JFF. So is that corruption going to continue? Because you're part of the corruption, because you're saying it's corrupt. So I'm not sure what that means. So we should just try to, as human beings, frankly, I cannot be bought. I've always said, you cannot buy my vote. Now you can incentivize me, but you can't. I'm gonna vote for what I believe is the right thing to do. I cannot be bought. I will never be bought. Now, sometimes you're in a position to not be bought, right? If you're in dire straits in life and somebody's gonna give you something that's gonna help you, and you make a choice between both, not voting for this person, not voting, and gonna come out really well on the other side, you may make that decision. But I think people should try to have a moral compass, and we seem to have lost that moral compass. I give an example. If people vote for Trump, they don't have a moral compass. That's an example. And yet, 70 million people voted for him. That means a lot of people are thinking about what benefits them directly, not the big picture. So my point on that is that I think Jamaica has to change the culture because it's endemic and it's almost like innate now. The concept of corruption is almost innate to the society. And society can't progress the way it wants to progress if corruption is innate to the society. It just can't. It can't.
Yes. My question is, Brett. All right. Good, very good point, Cranky. Because this is why I'm saying that these public things I have a problem with. So here's why, right, Brian? Because if I say to you, vote for me, and if I win the election, you're going to get $10 million. Or I say, here is $10 million. Vote for me. Either way, I think it's a matter of morality. Because it's so whether the money is given after or before, I think it's a problem, which is a point I'm making. Like if sponsors have money for these things, once it comes out like this, either way, it is, in my estimation, an act of buying something or giving something to get something in return. And I'm saying, should we give that kind of latitude and power to persons who are leading the football, and it is not their private business? It's something of national. So in other words, if that is the case and these resources are available, there has to be some way or somehow people can still give to that and whomever benefits. No, it's okay for a person to say, I don't want to. But once that, and I'm going to, let me say it this way. There was a time when a bakery sponsored every major league, which is the same thing. And therefore, every parish association voted for the person who operated the bakery because every league was called by the bakery's name. So if that happens before or after, how different is it is in terms of what you would call, quote unquote, buying a vote or the commitment of people? Or maybe we need to look at it and say, well, nothing is wrong with it because everybody...
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
The scenario that you just pointed out just now, do you think that was a right action?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not right. That's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe now is the time that we need to move into a different direction and move away from that type of operation.
So here is Kyle Wallace making a statement, which is asinine, like asinine. So because somebody does something wrong in a developed society, who are we not to do something wrong also? That's the problem, Kyle. You follow fashion. When it make no sense, Kyle. I'm calling you out. You know, in life, we have choices in life. You can do things which are bad and do things that are good. It's our choice to make. A lot of people do things that are bad and they're successful. And good people do things successful. But if you think about nature and life in general, I prefer being on the side of good. I'm not following Trump or Biden. I'm going to vote based on my ideology, not what Trump promised me, not what Biden promised me. The reason why I say Trump is a despicable, deplorable person is all things you have done throughout his entire life. Now, Biden have done things which I don't agree with. Laws that he has proposed, laws that he's been helping enacted. But if I compare the two, there's no I'm not voting for Biden versus Trump per se. I'm voting against Trump, for example, because he's a despicable person. So for Kyle to make that statement, Kyle, you need to look in the mirror because to me, it's dark. I'm calling you out, Kyle. It's dark. Seriously. For you to make that statement, you should retract that statement. Then you just show that you're going to follow what somebody who you think is, a world leader does, when that person may be corrupt, immoral, just a bad person. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so that is my point is I want both persons to go and get sponsorship. Nothing is wrong with that. But that sponsorship should not be used in a bid to secure, because vote or power. All right, we have a caller calling in. I think this caller is calling in for Cranky. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Oh God, what's up, man?
I am here, Kyle.
Oh God.
Yes.
So this caller is calling into Cranky. So you know it's me, right?
No, I didn't. I know it is Kyle, and so because it is Kyle, it is because he's calling the response to Cranky. Let's put it that way. So the Kyle came first. Go ahead.
I expected a call.
All right, Cranky. Let me just state the obvious, okay? It's happening in the USA. And no, I'm not asinine. Okay, what this does is this. Biden makes a State of Union address to the nation, in fact, to the world, basically where he's promising voters trinkets of programs, okay? Trump does the same on his campaign speech. This is normal in politics. And that's why it is called politics, because it's all politics. Okay, now you as a voter now has to take into stock, is this thing feasible? No, the catch is this. If you vote that person into power and they do not come through, there is retribution to pay in that the voters are going to say, listen, you promised us XYZ, a 6 for a 9, nothing came true, you are going out. Now that's where the voters come in. They have to pick sense out of nonsense to say, listen, can we work with this? And it is good in a democracy because what it does is it challenges people to meet targets, you know, to come true on their campaign promises, and the society at large gets better from competition. That is all what that is, and that isn't asinine. That is just politics, and that's a way of life.
Is it right, Kyle?
But Kyle, before you answer, Kyle, let me just say this, Kyle. There's a difference between me saying, I'm going to fix your roads. The roads benefit everybody. Right. I'm going to improve the infrastructure. I'm going to put up $1 trillion in infrastructure. Fix the bridges, fix the road, fix my schools. That's a societal help. That's what you should be doing. That's what the road calls for, versus saying, I'm going to give Kyle $100 in his pocket. So Kyle can just buy the vote. There's a difference between me making promises to enhance the society versus me giving you money directly. There's a big difference.
Right. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is it goes back to what I'm saying. The voters need to pick sense out of nonsense and hold these leaders accountable. No, is it right? I don't believe it right. But guess what? We don't live into a utopian society where everybody is righteous. We don't. That's just the fact of life. So we have to deal with the cards that we are dealt with. I mean, if these two gentlemen want to play politics and promise XYZ, fine, so be it. But you as a voter or you as a stakeholder need to hold him accountable. Because if you won't promise me that you won't build a stadium, or you won't promise me that you have $250 million to spend on XYZ, then I'm going to hold you to account to it and held to pay when that comes. So you vote and you make them feel it.
Here's the issue.
That's just the way of life.
Here's the issue. One of the issues. And Brian, you can respond to this. I have an issue with us. It's not like parish associations have not had money over the years. They have had money. The issue is, what has the money done? I do not believe that money should go to parish associations without there being evidence of the work they have done with monies that they have gotten. I think there are other things that the monies can be invested in that have proven to work. Instead of the part, while I believe that parish associations need to be strong, tell me the ones that you would say, listen, this parish association, they have been putting the monies given to them to good use, and we can see it. Maybe we can say Clarendon, because they have had success at every level in football, and Kingston and St. Andrew, and probably St. Catherine to an extent. All right? No, I tell people this. If you pick up Mount Pleasant and you see it with Lime Hall, if you pick up Mount Pleasant and take Mount Pleasant completely out of St. Anne tomorrow, what would St. Anne football look like? So,
my next man.
Yes.
Parish association shouldn't be given a dime.
That's what I'm saying, Cranky. This idea that you're going to give them money for what?
So here's how I view this, guys. Here's how I view this, which is...
Hold on. Wait,
Go ahead, Carl. Go ahead, Carl.
go on.
No, here's
Yeah,
what I view this actually.
was
What
going
the JFF should do is, you know what? There's no parish that functions on an island by themselves, right? To me, each parish's mandate should be very, very similar about what we're trying to achieve because I support the football as a whole. You should have a person in the JFF office who's going to work with the parish association. That money is funneled through that person to help with each of the initiative that that parish is going to execute against. And most of them should be similar. There's governance, there's oversight. Yes, the money has to be distributed, but it should be the parish president who make a decision about how the money is used. I'm sorry. They have not proven over time they are capable and accountable to do this. Change the construct, change the process.
That is my point,
Right.
Frankie.
But you see, just to jump onto what Cranky was saying, what I would say to that is that you need a checks and balances system where, like what Cranky was saying, that you delegate an initiative and you have a checks and balances to see that it is being spent on that initiative. And I don't see the GFF incorporating that to check any parish association. You know, and it should be vice versa, because the parish association should also be a balance to the GFF. So the whole structure needs restructuring. You know what I mean? The parish FAs, I can't say nobody giving them a blank check and say spend the money, because God knows where that money will go.
Yeah.
Brian, what you say about
Yeah.
the parish presidents getting money?
Well, firstly, it was my understanding that the monies were sent to the parish associations and not the president. But I hear Cranky's point in terms of maybe they need a person to have like oversight over the parishes, and so whatever administration or administrative duties that they are carrying out. Okay, so all right. So it could go like this. Okay, so in government now, I don't even know if this system is ideal, but I'm gonna put it out so you can have a view. So in government, members of parliament, they get an allocation of, I think, $20 million each year to be spent in their constituency. Now, that money is run through a unit that is called the Constituency Development Fund. And so what happens is, so they have different things in there. So they have like social housing program, economic development, welfare, sporting activities, education, and something else. I don't remember the other thing. They call them something like disaster relief or disaster preparedness, whatever them call it. So that 20 million has to be spent in all of those areas. And and they have what is called like a project officer, where they have an allocation that comes out of their CDF fund to pay that project officer. So that person in the office of the member of parliament is responsible for curating and writing projects that is required in the constituency. And I think there's a mandate that they need to have a consultation with with their constituency. I think it's one or twice per year or something like that. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. But they must have some consultation where they meet with the people and they talk, and then out of that they derive the projects in terms of assistance. You know, them have the back to school and the Christmas work and all them projects there. And then that officer is responsible for writing those projects and then submitting those projects to the CDF for them to peruse it, approve it, and carry through an implementation process. And then, you know, they have other government agencies who do this implementation and stuff. So maybe the JFF could take on a similar construct where, as far as I know, I think all parish associations should have a general secretary, and those persons should be paid, and then they should be responsible for running the day-to-days of the organization. And so when they have initiatives like they want to start a league, or they want whatever it is that them need to do in the parish, they need to submit some written document to the JFF, and then, as Cranky is saying, the person who is in the JFF who is responsible for them would control the allocation and distribution of funds and follow up with in terms of ensuring that whatever is allocated to do project A is being done, and then that person is also supposed to ensure that when the money is allocated, they do some form of follow-up to ensure that the project that they allocate the money for is being done. I think that could be a better way, as opposed to give each parish 10 million. Because the truth is, there are some parishes, so like St. Catherine, who's a much bigger parish, I don't think should get the same money as well, not a bigger parish, but like St. Catherine, that has the most teams per se to be catered for, then they shouldn't get the same allocation as like a Manchester, who has less teams. And so, but at the end of the day, there is no control mechanism in place to monitor these funds. So each time you come, then just say, yo, give the parish them 10 million, or give them 5 million, or whatever. And then it come like a cycle. So you get the 5 million this year, and then next year just come for your 5 million again. Nobody know if the 5 million is being used to pay a referee, to improve infrastructure, whatever. Nobody knows what it's being used for. And so sometimes you may have money being allocated to the parishes and it's not being used in the best possible way. And so now it seems as if the organization, which is the JFF, is not helping the parishes. But I don't think just giving them money alone is the way in which they need to be helped. But the JFF is going to tell you that they can't employ nobody to do that because they have $300 million debt and one way for it.
So, Brian, question for you. You hear Chung and others talk about, and Speed like talk about how much they're audited, even though it's sort of dated information. Are the parish associations part of those audits?
I would not.
Are they also audited? Question.
That has been a part of the problem, because
I don't think so.
My understanding, Cranky, is that there have been occasions when because a lot of the parish associations don't get audited. That's number one. And then there was a time when there was no money being given, because now they had to prove from once the FIFA thing came in, it became very difficult, because now the issue became, what have you done with the monies that you got? Show us the supporting documentation. And that has been a part of the issue. That is why I'm saying that there should be a project-based system where all monies that are for parish presidents, we have drawdowns where, okay, here is a project. There's an under-15 tournament, and there is a budget submitted, and that money is drawn down at the time of that. I think that there has to be a management system to put money in the FA association to do what?
Yeah, man, not only that, man, as you mentioned before, the evidencing, the documentation to substantiate the use of those funds needs to be in place. That means little or no money should be paid via cash.
Exactly.
Cash has to be like $25 or less, because, it's de minimis amount. But you have to have evidence to substantiate the veracity of the use of those funds and to authenticate the use of those funds. And I think it's important, actually. Chung is always talking about governance. But most of the governance he talks about resides within the JFF. And even there, people are challenging, questioning those governance. That needs to permeate and also go down to the parish level. Because as you said before, when organizations like FIFA come in and trying to substantiate that the funds were spent as intended, if you give the parish association just cash, or what if you give them, and you have no documentation about how they spend their funds, how does FIFA get comfortable?
Yeah, that is it. And so whatever the parish association sent, it has to be sent back to FIFA, So therefore, I think the best way to manage it is that, like you have these programs, the UNICEF and those things. They have different, what they call calls. At different times, you have a certain amount of money. You put up your proposal. I think, for example, parish presidents need to say, we have 5 persons on our staff. Our salaries are this amount every month. I think those checks are either, those monies are deposited for checks to be drawn, transferred for checks to be drawn to pay those people. When there is a need for the traveling of the U15 or the U17 team, that is also done, right? All of those things are managed. And for special project, that is how it's supposed to be done, so that we can be financially above board. All right. But some good points. Yeah. Some good points have been raised on this matter. So please don't get me wrong. Let me make 2 points. The fact that $350 million has been raised is a good thing. So people are saying, I know Issa Allen is saying that why I'm not talking about the other side. I did say, Issa Allen, that listen, you have to commend them, whether the article is fully accurate or not. They have said they have 350 million at their disposal. All right. Now, my only issue is just like with our political system, we ask for transparency of donors. You understand me? Because you need to know what are the connections between the person giving the donation and what they're supposed to get. My issue is this how the football in politics should work? Should it be that I can go and get money, and that money that I can go and get is if I become the leader? And if I'm not the leader, that money doesn't go into football. Should all of that getting and seeking sponsorship be left until after I am the president? And even if I have some commitment, maybe I shouldn't mention it publicly because it just comes across as giving and getting incentive for a particular outcome, which means that it could make the process seem like something is wrong.
Well, look, man, if you're going to run for president, you want to show prospective voters your ability to garner sponsorship, right? And then you want to provide those voters with you that they're going to get a part of that pie.
Okay.
Right? That's basically what the person's doing. They're basically saying, look, I have the relationships and the ability to go out and get sponsorship, and I'm going to distribute it to you so you can improve the football in a way that those monies allow you to do so. So look, I think it's a slippery slope. But if you're running for president, you want to make sure you're telling the audience what you can do for the football.
Yeah, which is your manifesto. So I am saying that because remember, I have no issue with promises being made in the manifesto in a cranky. Like, listen, we want to build mini stadiums. We want to build stadiums. We want to rehabilitate some of the stadiums. I have no issues with that. What I have an issue with is the suggestion that we have been given money, right? We have been given money. We have these monies already. And the plan is if we are in the place of power, we will then begin to distribute the monies to these groupings. I see.
Money, here's a question, money.
In line.
What if you don't win? What happened to that money?
But that is the question. That is the question. That is why I'm saying that there's something not wise about it, even if it's not wrong. Because then what exactly, Cranky? If you have $200 million that you have already received, if the article is right and you have already received it, what happens if you don't win?
I do think, look, we know how these things work, right? People are going to do and say anything to achieve their objective, which is to garner the presidency, to win the presidency. And there'll be much more money available when they become president, because we know there are different sources of funds coming to the organization. And I'm sure both sides, here's the thing, management, which we need to understand. One side is being overt, and one side, the covert side, may be saying the same thing, management. We don't know. One side may be more covert, Yeah. They know they have their votes locked in. They made their promises already. They don't have to broadcast this to the public. The other side is sending a message to those who know they're not going to vote for them, and to the general public in some respects. I'm not sure what they want to tell. They're trying to tell the general public, look, we are working hard and we are garnering resources to help the football. At the same time, it's a message also to other voters who may not be in their camp.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good thought. Good thought. Listen, many people are waiting on the January discussion, but since you're here on the U20s, Cranky.
Oh, Wallace coming out now. I can drop. You know I'm not talking U20, right? You know I'm not.
Yeah, that's
any youth football until things change. I'm not talking youth football.
So I'm going to the
I'll drop.
No man. I'll go to the Nations League because you're here. Because Amari Bell did surgery, so that's the next.
He did surgery.
Just if you go on his club website, you just saw that. So that's the next one of our starting defender along with Ethan Pinnock. Both of them playing the left side of defense. That
should I just sell my tickets then? I mean,
he have little faith.
No Nicholson, no Gray, no Bell, no Pinnock. I play probabilities in a Mannings, man. I'm a probability person, you know. That's 4 starters.
Yes.
Do we have able replacements? That's the question. Okay, you know me miserably, you know. I can't fly so far and spend so much money and go get beat up. I don't have a chance to win. I haven't heard the US having so much of the same injuries that we're having.
I'm telling you, it's not. It's just 2 injuries we have in though. It's really Ethan and Amari now. But who are the replacements?
Well, you might as well call Gray and Nicholson, call him injured, call him missing. What do you want to call him? They're not playing.
Yeah, but we have Greg Lee that can play, and Dexter has also played there as well.
Yes, that's true.
So I don't know how bad I miss. Somebody's saying that USA have injuries.
Pulisic is playing brilliantly. I don't know what injuries they have. Reina is not playing much for Nottingham Forest. I'm sure Waite is playing, from what I know. Musa, they have a bunch of players who are.
The good news is that Mikel Antonio got some minutes recently.
I wouldn't count on Mikel. Mikel has been out for a long time, and he's not playing that much.
Oh.
Yeah, he is not playing that much. In fact, what's his name played the other day? Danny Ince played. Yeah, Mikel is not playing.
You know, though, I think like we still have all right, because I think even our midfield has gotten stronger, you know, with the addition of KC Palm and how he has been playing. I think
KC been playing well. Yeah, but you need your strongest team, Mannings, man. You're playing an opponent who has 23 very, very good players, not 16, 15, 14. You need your best team to even compete. I think people forget how the Canada games were going, you know. Even with a strong team that we had. Unless the coach will play, maybe coach will play 8 at the back. And just I don't know how it's gonna work.
But I think you know, for some reason I believe that we will be in the finals, and I tell people if we get in the finals, Cranky, we win it.
Man, Jamaicans are the most optimistic people ever when it comes to the football.
I'm going to tell you why.
Let me tell you this.
Let me give you my reason.
If we're on a poll and we're playing Argentina, Mannings, man, and you're on the poll, at least half the people say we'll win.
No, Cranky,
even though we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You look at those polls. Amazing how confident we are.
Here is why. Here's what I believe, Cranky. I think all right. I've looked at Liverpool, right? In the game against Chelsea. And I've looked at Liverpool in the game against City, where they started a lot of new players. And I feel like sometimes that challenges your senior players to step up, and your new players give so much, which could be part of what happened. In other words, these guys who have been on the fringes are, you know, unsure as we look forward to like World Cup qualifiers and things. This could be an opportunity for them that's one to really go out there, whomever those players are, and do something significant. And this could be an opportunity because remember, Mikel Antonio never played in the away Canada game. Or remember, he had been out for a while. And if you notice, like after that game when we qualified, he posted a lot of things about it while he was injured. And I'm here thinking like he may be coming here to do some stuff because he didn't have the best Gold Cup either. Leon Bailey, with his form, although he didn't have the best game in their loss to Tottenham recently, though I think like Tottenham really got a number on Unai Emery and his stubbornness kind of cost Aston Villa that game, right? So I think like this could be an opportunity for him to just play an unbelievable game.
Mannings, the problem we have, Mannings, is how do we get the ball to those players? Because we have a lot of attacking players.
KC Palmer.
Okay.
I think KC Palmer is a difference maker, given what I've seen from him in the Coventry team. Like I don't think we had the KC Palmer option in the last set of games. You think so? Because he's the most creative of the midfielders that we have.
Yeah, we'll see. You can see my enthusiasm is getting worse and worse every week. By the way, people, if you want, I have 2 extra tickets for the game. So if you want to buy some tickets or I sell them back, I have my ticket and I have one for, I think me and Minzy going, by the way. But I have 2 extra tickets because I bought like 4 of them. So.
Yeah.
If you want to buy 2 tickets in a good section, let me know. That's like I'll send them back to Geeks, whatever the heck I bought them from. I remember.
Okay. All right. So
Fresh guy said doom and gloom. No, it's not doom. Fresh. I'm a realist, Fresh. One thing, realist. I don't have these view of life, which is, one that is not realistic. I'm very realistic. And I'm very conservative. So realism and conservatism suggest that I don't see the glass half full most of the time.
The DW is asking what is the cost of the tickets?
It's 200 and something for each, by the way. And those in Jamaica complaining about price.
Oh no, he's asking he's asking you what is the resale price.
I'm gonna sell them what I bought them for. I don't mark up. I'm gonna sell them what I bought them for.
No, they're asking if you're going. I don't think.
I even not get my money. They just keep them and sell them at all.
The people are not asking you if the ticket prices are marked up. They're asking if the ticket prices have gone down. You think they changed?
I'm not selling my ticket for less than what I paid for it. So if nobody want to buy it, I'm not selling it. I'm gonna keep it like this. Go away. I mean, just give them away. I don't know.
All right. Demo is saying that you should just give away the tickets.
Maybe Liverpool should give away the title, Demo. By the way, Demo. I'm proving you more wrong every day now. Because Nunez, I hear Klopp say Nunez. He was so large about Nunez. It was amazing. He was basically almost saying he has no weakness in his game. He's oozing qualities the way he puts it, Demo. So are you saying Klopp is wrong? He's not oozing quality? Or he has quality everywhere, is what Klopp said to put it. I gotta get the right quote that he said. But he was exalting the ability and the quality of Nunez, who I rate quite a bit. And I think Nemo was saying he's not good, he's terrible, he's awful, whatever negative adjective you want to use to describe him. But it shows that Demo may not necessarily be able to assess talent unless the talent is producing 24/7 right away.
I'm telling you, man, he's talking about, oh my God, why is there a Nunez conversation?
No, right? Demo, because I have to call you out, Demo, because you and this program called me out about how terrible Nunez was and, rate Nunez, and you were on and on. How about a player from your own team? Now, I must say, us Arsenal fans say the same thing about Havertz.
Havertz, yeah.
I wasn't a big Havertz fan from day one because I don't think he's dynamic enough. But I have to call you about Nunez because I think Nunez is going to be one of the best forwards in the Premier League, even better than Haaland at some point. Yeah. And that may sound over the top, but I'm telling you, he has more qualities than Haaland. I didn't see Haaland. Did Haaland play Sunday, man? I forgot. Did Haaland play on Sunday? When they played Liverpool, did Haaland play? Did Haaland play the game?
Yeah, of course he played.
I saw Nunez. And by the way, in that game, if people don't realize this game management, let's talk about that game a little bit. You know, the time Nunes can get behind the defense and they don't play the ball over the top, and he gets frustrated.
He's going to tell you that he's always offside, though.
No, management, because you know what, management, he's getting frustrated. He's on the defense, he's on the line with the defense. He's saying, playing over the top, they can't catch me, and the ball doesn't come. Yes, he should do a better job of trying to stay onside, but he's playing on the shoulder, and they're not finding him. Go watch the game again, and you'll see what it's talking about. In fact, Never pointed out quite a bit. How many times he's saying, play the ball, play the ball, play the ball. It doesn't come, and he throws his hands up because he's South America, and he's going to show his frustration. It was a continuum. So I think he's a brilliant player. Misses too many goals, but those will come eventually. And by the way, he created that goal all by himself. No one gave him that goal, by the way. His work ethic gave him that goal.
Before the game, Odegaard is still spinner guard, all right? I'm telling you.
Odegaard is a brilliant footballer.
Everybody's saying that Liverpool got robbed with a no call for penalty.
It's subjective management. I understand why they didn't give it, but it probably should have been a penalty. I understand why they didn't give it, because he touched the ball first and it's late in the game, and we're for human beings. But it probably should be a penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, Cranky, listen, I know you. Yeah, I know you have to leave, you know. All right, but because we're going to talk some under 20, because news broke that John Wall has been recalled.
Recalled or?
All right, let me read.
Reassigned?
Let me read.
To his home?
No, let me read. Let me read the article. It says, the Jamaica Football Federation has decided to recall Coach John Wall from duties with the U20 team so he can better concentrate on assisting Coach Hal Grimson in preparing the senior men's team for the numerous competitions ahead. This includes the Nations League, the Copa America Championship, and the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Wall, who coached the U20 men's team at the recent CONCACAF qualifying round in St. Kitts, is also the FIFA talent development scheme manager for Jamaica and assistant coach to Hal Grimson. Experienced coach Jerome Waite will work with the U20 team, which will go into the CONCACAF Championship final round World Cup qualifier in July. It is always a joy working with the national program. It will be great going into the qualifiers with this group of players. Qualification won't be easy, but it is something that can be accomplished. Jerome Waite.
Okay. So Wall says he's not going to deal with it. So Wall has a contract till when?
You know what? I know that the Wall contract. You know what? I need to find out. I don't know. I know that their contract is a year thing and may have been renewed. So I don't know.
So here's my speculation, and I'll last thing I say on this, which is here's my speculation. Wall is not happy being able to pick his team the way he wants to pick his team. Jerome Waite will acquiesce to the technical committee and whoever makes those decisions, whoever pick those team and players. And Wall, obviously, they don't want to have someone have to pay them off on their contract. And he's also a FIFA designee. So you find a place to place him until his contract expires. Are you going to pay Jerome less money at some point? Now, you're duplicating the pay because was Jerome on the assistant for the under 20?
No. Rudolph Austin.
So you're bringing someone, so you're paying out more money then, because Wall is going to get the same compensation. You bring Jerome in, so you're spending more money than you probably needed to do, right?
No, I think I don't know, but I'd want to think because part of his job, whatever. I don't know.
I understand all of that, and they try to make sure we all understand that in the statement that they're putting out to the public. But you bring Jerome in, who wasn't part of the administration, you got to pay him, right?
Yeah, but I think though that part. So, for example, if I am the human resource manager and the accountant, and they remove me from the accounting position, it may mean that whatever I was getting in addition to my human resource pay to do the accounting, they may cut that.
No, that doesn't work like that for John Wall. Here's the thing: he's a contract and get paid a set amount. when you sign those contract management, that contract doesn't say anything about me getting role shift around. You may be at the placement where you want to, but the money amount is fixed. Money amount is not changing.
Let me see if I can call.
From the Premier League to the Championship, and you know that you have a 50% reduction in wage if you get relegated. It's a different construct.
Let me see if I can. I wonder if I can call Mr. Speed to ask him to clarify this whole thing. Let me see.
They're spending out more money. They're making more money, so they have more money to spend.
Cranky, just engage probably some of the comments. Let me see if I can get Mr. Speed to just on the mat.
Amen. We said John Wall has those positions already. Yep, he has all those positions. His number of positions are being reduced, obviously. Grenadier saying Waite is not necessarily a yes man either. Remember, he hit out while being tapped as assistant. So I'm surprised he's back in the program. Didn't he make some comments that got him displaced? I remember him coming on and making some comments during that regime, and all of a sudden he got reassigned. I'm not sure if he got fired, but he got reassigned. Speed as a 3 card, man. I talk about different things. You know what? We can't. I like Speed. Speed is a smart person, but sometimes Rudolph, I don't know Rudolph. But none of the things that we just come from out of the bush and you just give us some things and hold on it. We don't know that word, Rudolph.
So
we don't know, Rudolph, that there have been issue with the under 20. There have been issue with who can select who. You hear me talk about your quota system, and if you're a coach, any coach, what I had him system management about selecting players. He wants the best team he can put on the field. That's what any good coach wants. The best available players.
But Cranky, you know what? Remember that Jerome Waite was basically taken out of the program because he never agreed with certain things, you know. So I don't think he's a
management. We can all say we don't agree with management when.
But that is why he wasn't in the program. So to say that he's,
I'm sure they've got a conversation with Jerome.
But there's a lot.
The situation tell you everything the management.
But you know that there's a lot of the issue is, and that's why it's so difficult to because I work with John, and when it comes on to like set plays and those things, break them down, analyze them and things. But here's the issue. So it's hard for me to comment on it because I work with him and I know him personally. I think the talents thing that he's doing, the coaching thing, like I personally believe like right now our U20s should be in camps.
Right.
And that is so I'm trying to
Are people thinking about the Mannings? Either you're saying you're not competent, because all this should have been known already, management. U20 schedule, qualification, Copa America, Nations League. This is not a yesterday thing, the management. This has been known before Christmas. So if you look at the schedule and work out what's going to transpire, you expect to get to the first round of the under 20. Don't give me this nonsense about, you know what, this just a rise. I'm not buying it. Then you're planning to sport them.
So here's my thing. No, I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you, know. But what I'm saying though is that while we will not discuss these things, there's a lot of things that has come out like in the public space that I think created this
situation.
Yeah, like you know, sometimes I feel like in life we're judged by association.
Yes.
You understand me? And I'll leave it at because I don't want to, because it is a lot of it is speculation, but it is public. I don't want to discuss it, but there is that. But we have the man who played Mount Pleasant, and I must say that there was a bet between Real Albala and Mr. United that Cavaliers, Real Albala, let me just say that, said Mount Pleasant would beat Cavaliers, and Mr. United said Cavaliers would beat Mount Pleasant. The game ended Mount Pleasant 2, Cavaliers 0. Brilliant first half by Mount Pleasant. Played Cavaliers completely out the park. However, I will say this. I believe that Cavaliers were robbed a goal, but they would have still lost the game. But they were robbed a goal. All right? Which led to, let me be honest, they were robbed a goal. The keeper was playing around. The man kicked the ball in the goal. All right, so it should have been given, which led to the first yellow card of Atkinson, which ended up causing him to get a red card. But on the balance of play, I think Mount Pleasant outplayed
So
Cavaliers.
you're saying the ref made a mistake and then double down on the mistake?
That is my thought. Mr. Speed can answer whether the ref made a mistake or not.
I hate when refs do that, by the way. I hate when refs mess up and then they double down on the messing up. Right? Then they should be penalized.
Yeah.
So,
and Mr. Speed, and this is one of the reasons why I don't think Mr. Speed should be coaching the team. Because as in the position that he holds in the GFF, you know, when a referee do a team that no, you're not gonna go on bad, man. And
you
then
have to show composure and
but it's hard in the heat of the moment. You must go on bad. And next thing, you understand me, the referee no ref couple of games, and what are they going to say? Yeah, man, is the one Speed. So I think that is where now you need to check in on Mr. Speed. Go ahead and make a case.
I let you calm over here, fam. Now look here, what you just say is common, because they robbed me a goal a week before too. So I not even know where you want me to say about it. Can't bother talk about that, because I can't tell you the whole part of the instance when they robbed me. So my position now help me. So I'm happy if you say that.
No, it's not helping you because your behavior and response clearly shows it's not helping you.
That's my point. My point is, it is your response that is the problem.
Which response?
I think we are master the game. We are master the games.
So when all Liverpool, you know what people funny? One man about Liverpool. Me not fi say the referee robbed me because I said referee make an error.
Because you're part of the GFF, Mr. Speed. I can say that.
But him back Liverpool now and he must say, oh, them rob him against Manchester City. So me I say, you have to keep your...
No, you can't conflate the two roles. You cannot conflate the two roles. Klopp is not part of the English FA.
Exactly my point.
Anything you want to say?
Anything you want to say. Because if
anyway,
that
you say
anyway,
is
I never said we robbed that goal during our management say so.
But you agreed with him.
Why not? They're not allowed to agree.
No. The referee. Yeah, it's the referee. Listen, the man come. People, I am watching the game. I am a fan. And the man come off of the field halftime. I tell me how. Yo, you see a rob on rob me. I'm me, the man. The man rush me. The man rush me, people.
So you mean the executive went to sleep and Jamaica came out? Is that what
no, but me does. But I'm a friend me a talk to. You see, from now on, me not tell him nothing. Because I expect him to say nothing. I'm a friend me a talk to.
The man rush me half time.
Yeah, but he's a Mount Pleasant supporter, isn't he?
Hey,
that's why me not give no Cavalier shirt, no key when say.
Cracky, you know what is funny? You know what is funny? I was at the game coming from church. You know what I done? Black and white. The Mount Pleasant fans were saying that, yo, you switch for me because your Speeder friend here, black and white come the match. When Speeder come off for halftime now, the man that cost me out say about Pleasant, me a support on a Robin. So I mean get the worst of the whole thing. Yeah, that's like, but Mr. Speed, listen, can we talk about January? Because I just read the press release said that he has been recalled. You know, and normally when we hear those things, there is a fault. Normally when a product is recalled, it is recalled because there's a manufacturing.
I didn't write it. You know,
you're saying John was defective.
I didn't write it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have used that word, but I didn't write it. But I don't know. A lot of words we use and they mean different things. Even although my think is a local meaning. So I mean, the person who writes it is very intelligent. I would have thought that he would have researched what. So I'm not saying the word is not correct, but I don't know. I didn't write it.
Okay. I don't think it is. Me, personally, I don't think it's the best use of a word to say.
Just like how me and Frankie have issues with use of words.
What word would you get to use? I want to hear this. What word would you use?
Let man tell you, him a pastor. Him have social intelligence. A social intelligence?
I would say
or emotional intelligence.
I would say this. Listen, because of the numerous activities of our senior team and the rising conflict that there will be in preparation, we have made a decision that we believe is in the best interest of our U20s and our senior team to, at this moment, have Coach John Wall work with our senior team for
And to
this
separate
season.
the roles. To separate the roles.
There you go. That's a better thing.
So,
right?
And
That is
Cranky
what
would
I
say,
would have.
hey, and Cranky would say, what were you thinking? You ever thought about that before? You even assigned him to the role? These conflicts didn't manifest themselves yesterday. They were known a long time ago. So why would we have gotten to this place? That's what Cranky would say.
And you see how you use the word conflict in this case, it have a different meaning from how you use the conflict with me a while ago. You see how English language.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So we love it.
Okay.
So we love it. Recommend for the boys.
So this looks like it's an English lesson today, right? I mean, no. But one I think we learn as coaches, is that, listen, man, don't be afraid to kick a cone. If something not go wrong, fix it. And even in our lives, we have to learn that too. So some of the time you really.
So here's my confusion, Mannings, man. Because there seems to be a pattern here, a theme here. So Vin Blaine, so you shouldn't be a coach for the first round of games. Because Vin Blaine won all his game for the World Cup qualifying girls, and he resigned under pressure. I know John Wall won all his game in the first round for this to go to the next round, and he got recalled. What am I missing in this equation?
Just forget about you. Just forget about you said that word.
No. I said reassigned. I didn't say recall.
Reassigned. Yeah.
It's been reassigned, or it's been.
So
I'm confused, Mannings, man. Confused.
At the time when he got his contract, like a year and a half ago, there wasn't the clear specifics. We hadn't even qualified yet for the Copa. I mean, we hadn't qualified yet for the
Nations League
semi-final, right? And we also learning our lessons that we need to prepare teams better. So our committee would have a little more funding now. Say, listen, we want to have more frequent camps. We went to Trinidad with the under-20 before. We're sending under-20 team to Turkey next month with some of the same players. We're going to play in our Tri-Nation tournament before the World Cup qualifiers start for the under-20. I mean, in the next FIFA window, because we're trying to use the FIFA window so we can get the better overseas based players that will be available. So as things get closer and we have more money and we start to see clearer what the team needs, we're preparing for that. So the assessment was done and we come to the conclusion, real good assessment for the technical committee, what we have to do and what we want to happen in terms of preparation. And it's just impossible for us to cut him in two. Impossible. So, for instance, he's going to go with it.
Is there a decision, Rudolph, to because I see a trend here now, to have more local developed coaches coach the junior teams? Because I hear Freddie, the under-17 coach.
No, the under-17 coach. No, the under-17 coach is Altiman Butler. He's from US. I mean, he's born.
Yeah, Freddie.
Yeah. So it's not like there's anything about local and overseas in terms of coach.
No, I said locally developed. I didn't say local and overseas. I said locally developed.
No. There's no preference really. I will prove that there's no preference. Our female team is coached by a coach from the US. I mean, there's no.
I have a question for you. It's a tricky question, actually. So when we're compensating coaches, are overseas developed coaches much more expensive than local developed coaches?
Look, you get paid based on how good he is most of the time, That's how we assess coach.
So is that a yes?
No, not a yes. Because no. Hold on, man. Let me tell you some facts because we always have a stereotype thing about Jamaica and overseas. I know coaches that come from overseas that get much less pay than an assistant coach or some local club work local. So I know local coaches here will get much more money than coaches that come from overseas.
I'm talking about the national program, not
coach at Premier League. No, but everything you have to put in a perspective. So I'm just giving you ideas to say that's not the case. No, that's not the case. It depends on what the coach willing for. Every case is different and you negotiate.
All right. Here's my question, Mr. Speed. Jerome Waite also has a team that is vying for the Premier League title. It is coming into the playoffs.
That's
So
not. Don't ask me that because I don't. That's their own problem, not mine.
No. His question is the conflict you mentioned with John Wall. You just said it's a conflict that then.
I never use the word conflict.
Okay, I use the word conflict. You're saying, okay, competing priorities.
I said we can't cut him in two.
Exactly. But you cut Jerome Rote in two.
No. National team duty come first. John has three national team duties. He has.
So you're saying if there's a conflict between the other 20 and Jerome has to acquiesce to the national program?
Yes. There's no two way about it.
And he agrees to that. That's contractual.
Everybody agreed to that.
Is it contractual?
Yes. Everybody have to agree to that.
Okay.
There's a serious that's part of the professional, like the nature of Jamaica's football that cannot be compared to like places like England, because I think that is a huge difference in Mr. Speed. Like for example, Klopp at Liverpool, like if he were given the England under 20 team, he would have to leave Liverpool.
Which he will never be given a team, but okay.
No, but just hypothetically speaking. So I'm saying that if this man, it's tough enough because if this man is being paid by a club, right? In Tivoli, right? National duty calls. And they are saying that the national duty comes first. It is putting his club team in jeopardy.
Why you think I have anything to do with that? I don't have anything to do with that.
If you're a national coach and you're Jamaica, you need about 3 jobs in management to just make up your money.
Exactly.
I would say this though.
You're correct about that, Cranky.
I would say this. I'm not averse to, because this has been discussed in international forums around, because international duties is so infrequent in terms of when you have tournaments. The question has arisen about whether or not coaches should be allowed to coach a local team, like a club team, and a national team, right? And they do this. And that's a challenging because they're saying you only have a certain window, 2 weeks most with your national team, even though there are other things you can do. The question has been asked in the national forum. So maybe Jamaica is going to experiment with this and see how it works.
No. Well, I want you to stop thinking that it's business as usual. This is a different JFF. People should be very aware. We're not doing that where we coach team for 2 weeks again and got trained. And that is one of the reasons why we say with Jerome, local here all the time, he'll be able, and we have all of this tournament planning, we can see a pathway to give us our best chance to qualify for the under 20 by playing these matches, these practice games against international teams. We're going to Turkey for a couple of games. As I said, we're going back to get some some mid-America teams to play, Central America teams to play before we go to the World Cup qualifier. So it is not a 2 weeks thing anymore. It's a coordinated plan for Jamaica football better. And there's no way John would have been able to do that with his other duties because he's the first assistant coach for the senior team. Remember, it's the senior team. You know what I like with the senior team? You might not see this big improvement over 1 month, but you can see the steady drip of the team improving, little by little going up. All of that is because of John work and Algrim's work and the team that them forged together and trying to make the best of the Jamaica senior team. I don't think we can put that in danger any at all.
So who initiated this reassignment? Was that John or the JFF?
Do what?
Initiated the reassignment.
No, we came up. Our technical committee said in the best interest of Jamaica football, we think that's the way we should go.
Okay. I don't think we're getting the 100% transparency. You know, my favorite word, I say I should learn a different word, but I love that word. We're not getting 100% transparency on that, because you know I have to use it at some point in our conversation. I think we're getting partial transparency in that foot.
You don't believe that reason is the reason?
No. I believe there are other factors which influence the ultimate decision. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
There's always, in every decision, there's always the primary reason and then there's secondary reason and tertiary.
Because I've interviewed John Wall, and I think John Wall is a very strong character. And I can see heads being butted with certain personnel who are also very strong characters and character. I can see that inherent conflict being there in terms of ultimate decision making. So I can understand why we got where we got to.
No. But you see, the only difference me have with you here, Cranky, you can say all of that and it's fine.
Strong character is human attack. Let me just tell it. Are you cranky attack? You hear?
Well, it's good to have a strong character. It's not a bad thing necessarily.
Yo,
May not be all the time, but sometimes it's a strong character.
Look. Every decision that I make is in my best interest of Jamaica, in my opinion, or in my but you know, funny enough, why people don't understand me. I never make a decision that is not or make a decision that is not supported by the majority of the people in my committee. And that is why my decision so yeah, mindset and strong are people, you know. So all of us look at the situation and we come up with this, say these are the best thing for Jamaica. And right now, nobody can tell me otherwise, say this are not the best for Jamaica. Nobody. Right now. When you look at it not on one team, you know, is when you look at all the teams. This man has been in the games of running come, and we are going to some serious games where all the way we want to win and do well. Right? So how are we going to cut him into some over this with under 20 and we must support the coach as best as he can? With playing at international level not easy, you know, a lot of research, you know. You know, so when we lose a game to Canada, I was in a room at the hotel. I went around there. And within hours that we losing, John was on his computer and I look back on every single move Canada make in the match and I try cut it up and paste it up to decide how them will tackle Canada in the return leg. That before people don't eat them lunch, you know. John back hard at work, you know. So I think, you know, are the right decision to make. I mean, get another coach who we think will be able to spend more time with the under 20 and put him is the first assistant coach, make him, you know, the coach need help.
So let me say it again. You're saying that when he was given the job, there was not so much work as it is now. Because was he the talent person in the initial stages?
No. The talent identification project, my brainchild, you know. Here some people say, me applied to it from FIFA. Me and my technical committee and Dunswell sit down and apply. You remember me used to talk about talent recovery after COVID because somebody was even saying, is that a word? Because we realized that our players would have fallen behind because we're not playing for years, even after other countries came back and started playing football. So that idea about talent identification was me and Dovey and our committees, technical committee, sit down and say, we want this, and we apply to FIFA for it. I hear somebody else say, John, that's not true. When John came, and at the time, it just looked like a good idea, so we can give him, because of my experience from overseas, to do it, to be the manager. We were looking for a manager, and we decided to give him the manager program, and then the under-20, because we had said in planning that we wanted the under-20 coach to be senior coach, to be assistant for the national senior team, under-20 coach to be assistant for the national senior team, so there can be the easy progression of players from under-20 to the senior team. But now, we reap success, which nobody like talk about. We in a Nation League semi-final, we are Copa America. That is a lot more work, and the World Cup qualifiers coming up. I remember us going to the finals of
World Cup,
and couldn't even make it out of the round before reaching the final round for World Cup qualifiers, you know, because in my mind the team did come do so well at World Cup, but it was not sustainable based on all that we have been doing, striking, fighting, all of those things. Right now we see we have a team who ready to compete for all of the things them in a CONCACAF World Cup qualifier, everything, because of the gradual improvement. So we have to make a decision and say, listen, do we distract the main assistant to the coach, or we give back the coach and we look something else for the under-20? And we made the decision. I think it was a wise decision.
So tell me this observation is way off. And I know people say, Cranky, you keep going back to history. So Vin Blaine, one of his first game, and by the way, JPL don't fire people now. Somehow they just move on or reassign. So Vin Blaine, one of his first round game, and Vin Blaine resigned. One of his first round game World Cup qualifiers for the girls. Somehow a winning coach, one of his game, resigned, because whatever reason. Donaldson took the team to the World Cup. Best in the history of football. His contract was not renewed because whatever. John Wall won all these games in the first run for under 20. He gets reassigned. Is there so we don't like so when we have winners? I thought it's when you lose, you get reassigned or fired. I'm confused. Like seriously.
Cranky. The man can't be cut in three. Cranky, me understand what you're confused about.
I'm confused because we
no, you're talking about some other case. No, you're talking about you're being.
But are these facts? Are these facts?
No, you're being disingenuous because
what
really? Yeah, what you did there was trying to compare. You notice in the other two cases, those two coaches not on the JFF payroll anymore. This guy still is. So it's a different case.
But I'm giving you example where people have.
No, it's bad example.
It's 3 cases.
No, it's bad example. The other two
don't. It's 3 cases.
No,
3 cases. Hey, you're an accountant. Empirical evidence.
You're using a liar thing term now. You're distinguishing on the facts.
Right.
The facts are different.
Do you know that Tapa was what Mr. Speed is saying, Cranky, is that he still has a job with the JFF. The others did not have a job after. So it would be it's fair for us to say then Vin was fired, Lorne was fired, but John has been reassigned.
And I could say man is man.
No, I'm asking.
Wait, hold up, guys. Let me just finish.
But I'm asking Mr. Speed.
No, let me make my point first before he answers. I could say this. He has a contract. If you fire him, you still have to pay him. You didn't have to pay Vin. You didn't have to pay Donaldson. You have to pay him if you fire him before his contract expires. There's a difference. Is that right, Mr. Speed? Rudolph, is that right, Rudolph?
What?
If you fire him, you have to pay him up.
Not really. Not if you fire him for cause.
Oh, for cause because he won?
No. You are making a point, and I'm making another point. If you fire somebody
for cause, you're gonna put it for he wins.
No. Come on, you're Cranky. A person you can't right now. You employ people, Cranky.
I'm manager. No, actually, I'm not employed right now. I'm unemployed, by the way. I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed. As of last week, Friday, I'm unemployed. On a permanent basis, by the way.
No, you're not.
Of my own volition.
He's a retiree.
I've seen the best worker in enough instances getting fired. So you know, say that alone makes somebody keep them job because them good.
No, I agree with that. I agree. I know that's the case.
Yeah.
So you're saying he wasn't fired.
Oh.
You're saying no, John Wall wasn't fired. We know.
No, I put Jamaica first.
Right. Oh, it's Jamaica first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I put Jamaica first. Everybody need a chance. If you don't have enough time for the under 20, and the senior team needs him.
Okay. I'm gonna note those 3 examples, and I'm gonna keep adding to them as they come along because.
No, why you not add the other examples where do so bad that they're not gonna JFF anymore?
No, because it's about winning. Football is about winning. You win, you get paid, you get promoted. That's how football is. It's about winning, performance, outcomes.
You know, because you love use that other word, say enough for use, Cranky.
Yeah.
All you do is try to find something, you know, and you can't find nothing, so you just start coming to my.
I showed you 3 coaches who have won all their games, and they got moved from their position. They
won all their games.
Tapa was on a
hold on. No, let me finish it, Cranky. They won all their games. What about
wait, they won the
game. Who did coach the team against?
They're in competition.
No.
Go ahead.
The last 2 games were one of the female senior team coach. Did he win those 2 games?
No, but he's judged based on a body of work.
Oh, he's on
a body of work.
Game.
He's judged based on a body of work. Yeah, he did lose to Canada, yes, and he put
okay.
it. But he
so did he never win all them games. No. So restate. You never win all them games. So you see.
Okay, fine. So you're gonna play semantics now. You're gonna play. Okay, so we can go.
No, you started.
Let's Brian, go ahead because I want people to know that Tapa. When Tapa had 5 games win streak, and it was at that point that he was relieved of his duty.
Yeah, 5 game what?
He was on a 5-game win streak.
No, not true. We win 5 games and World Cup qualifier, not Nagosa.
I was gonna say I know man's drinking.
Check it.
Hold on.
We know you're wrong.
Hold on, go get the monies, man.
Unbeaten. Sorry, not win streak. Unbeaten. 5 games unbeaten.
All right.
Unbeaten.
So,
go ahead,
Jerome Waite is the new under 20 coach now.
Yeah, man.
So in his previous role, was he fired or was he reassigned?
Jerome was never fired. He was reassigned, yes.
Oh, so he's now being, where was he reassigned to?
He was reassigned until his contract ran out.
Oh,
we never renew it.
Oh, so he's now being hired by the JFF to coach under 20.
New contract, yes.
Okay, all right.
Listen, and I'm not questioning the credential of Jerome Waite, but let me just ask this. So, a person asked this. One, why wasn't Rudolph Speed? Why didn't Rudolph Speed take up the job, seeing that he has one of the best U teams? Well, I'm just before you shake your head, I'm asking what the person asked. That's one. The other thing is that, though there's an assistant coach, has there been any consideration to bring Lenny Hyde on, seeing that he has also done well at Clarendon, seeing that Jerome Waite?
We're looking at bringing him on, yes. You see it, you get news.
I'm a Lenny proponent, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
That's a good thing. I think Lenny should be involved with local kids because.
So Austin is still the assistant coach?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, you just can't find a plot, you know. That's a problem, you know. Nobody
can ask a question. You
can't believe that there's no plot.
Rudolph is so negative. So negative. We're trying to get information out to the general public, and he thinks we're trying to undermine him and have some nefarious reasons for some of our questions.
The way you are go about the cranky, you try to treat me as a hostile witness.
But you are a hostile witness.
So, but Mr. Speed, though, I think because I think MF is the name of the person who said this, that isn't there two things? One, all right? Here are the two things, all right? One is, while I understand that the senior team has become successful, and what that means is that, okay, so there are more activities. So, when at the initial appointment, in our forward planning, didn't we visualize the crop of player that we were going to have success, and this would not have been a good move initially to assign him over these assistant coach for the senior team, under 20 coach, talent advisor, that these three areas would have been too much once there is success, and maybe from the initial stages, it should have been altered from that point. Why did it take like 18 months to actually see this happening?
So, you know, I really have to put things in a perspective and go back. When we got him, the plan was for under 20. He must be the coach for the under 20 and assistant coach, because we wanted a seamless progression. We're talking about transition coach, a transition coach for players to transition from, you know, other levels to national players, right? Because he's a hero nigga, so he was the ideal person to do it. And then the National Academy was something we wanted to do, because, I mean, we saw the need for the National Academy. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw the need, right? If you do your research, you realize a lot of teams like France, they have the National Academy, and it really do well for them. So again, yeah, we say you want to do this, and him say yes, he will do it, and we assign it to him. It wasn't in his original brief, you know. It wasn't the National Academy. TDS wasn't.
Oh, so you guys added the National Academy. Also, the initial assignment was assistant coach to the senior team and under 20 coach. But then you added, I see you added.
We added because we couldn't find nobody, basically. Right.
Okay.
So I am the first to say we make a mistake. I always say if we make a mistake, we make not a mistake. We didn't realize that the amount of work, and then the successes came. And one person just can't do so much work.
People, put your hands together. Mr. Speed has acknowledged that he made a mistake.
Enough time, Mr. Look on the program. So make mistake. Enough time. But I know.
Okay.
I'm the first to admit a mistake and move on. How you guys now want to move on? When they say, yo,
okay.
No. People chatting that Cranky believe in conspiracy theory and he think there's other things going on. He doesn't believe in conspiracy theory, but he doesn't think we're getting the entire picture. I will use transparency in the entire picture.
But I did agree with you, Cranky, that there's always a primary reason and secondary and tertiary reasons for everything. I did agree with you, but I'm giving you the primary reason.
Okay.
It was
Other
enough.
reason, that's the convenient reason.
No, it is enough.
Give me the reason. Give me a reason.
No, it is enough. I think it is enough.
Exactly.
So the next thing, Mr. Speed, there is a part of the footballing population who are stakeholders in terms of spectators who say, oh, geez, John Wall had all of these players from Europe who are going to come in. Now there's Jerome Waite. Oh, we're not going to see any of them. Is there any assurance that there will be still a concerted effort to get the best talent Jamaicans home and abroad to play for this under-20 team under the new coaching regime?
So may I say it for the 1 millionth time, because the quota is not for absoluteness, it is for control. That is why it was put in place, because we have issues. If the coach can reasonable tell us the reasons why them need more than the 7, they will get them. And we have gone up to 14 overseas based player in a national team since I am the chairman of the technical committee, because they ask and justify the reason why. And I think it was an under-20 female team that have gone up to 14. But let me just say this: under no circumstances will you see a national youth team have 100% players who not born in Jamaica. It will never happen. So let me just make that clear.
When I say youth team, what you meaning? Like what?
Under 20, under 17, under 15, under 14. Senior national team, we don't care where they come from. It could be 100% of them. Let's find us.
So Rudolph, I have a question for you. Management, why we get here, management? How we get here?
Me no know.
So here's a question for you, Rudolph. Isn't this contrary to your constitution?
No. The constitution no say nothing about it.
It says you will not discriminate.
Yeah, we're not discriminating.
You are.
No.
You are. It's not even debate. It's not Rudolph.
It's a matter of choice.
No. You don't get a choice to make. No. You don't get a chance. You don't get a choice. When the Constitution says you don't discriminate based on all these criteria. Go to your Constitution. Next time we speak, I'm getting perturbed about this because I hear chunks of the same nonsense, and he has no idea what he's talking about. Go read your own Constitution. Look at the criteria in your Constitution about you won't discriminate, and look at the criteria for citizen. Because even in Jamaica, unlike the US, a person not born outside of Jamaica can be a prime minister of Jamaica. You can't in the US. Your Constitution, what you're doing doesn't align with your Constitution.
Anyway,
so guessing, and you say you have a lawyer.
Cranky is a policy.
Rudolph, no. Your policy is contrary to your Constitution.
All right, Cranky.
It's flawed.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Right? Can you keep on saying this thing and me try and make you understand? Is it the 32 best team playing a World Cup?
The World Cup? Pete, you're comparing apples and oranges.
No, man, me ask you a simple question.
No, it's not 32 best. No, it's not 32 best team. Right.
Me make the case. Because if that was the case, so football was always an all-inclusive thing, even so that everybody can participate. That's why it's the #1 sport in the world.
I understand. Put it in your Constitution, Speed.
Ooh.
You know you can't do it. You cannot put that in the Constitution. You know it and I know it.
Ooh.
You cannot put in the Constitution that your team will be comprised of players. You're talking about citizens.
I am not. I said the coach have to justify going over a certain number. I never say enough to pick all of them.
Rudolph, I'm gonna call you guys. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write to FIFA and ask them if this is okay. I'm gonna do that. I have time on my hand now.
Frankie, which country? Which you know something? First of all,
yeah.
You know, me not like go down certain road with you because you make me have to bring out some research that we have. We have looked at all the players who born overseas who represent Jamaica, and you make it sound like me against people. I'm not. And we have looked at what them success rate and matriculation to the senior team, And we have looked at the ones that will even come back and try play again. And the percentage is so low.
All right. So here's what. Let me hold on, Cranky.
No,
Cranky. Just hold on. Cranky.
Anyway.
Hold on. Mr. Speed. Here's what the issue is. All right. I think there is a problem with quality and selection. Let me help you. I think it is okay if you say not all the players are of the necessary quality or they don't have the chemistry to fit in the team. I think what Cranky is saying is this, that all of them should be given the same opportunity for selection as any other player born in Jamaica. Now, we can all say, for example, Christopher Ainsworth is better than Patrick Newton. All right? That is fine. But what Cranky is saying, I believe, is that Patrick Newton must have an opportunity to vie for selection. And if his quality is not good enough, that is fine. Because that's a quality issue. Right?
And look here, is all of them can vie for selection. I never said they can't vie for selection.
Okay, so Cranky said if they all vie for selection, and then there are 40 players, but the 40 who vie for selection are, say, 18 from overseas or 20 from overseas, and it's a 20-man squad. Will all 20 be selected if the court justifies that? Or will we say, well, no, we have to squeeze in someone local, even though they are of lesser quality? I think that is where the issue is. And I think that is what Cranky is trying to reconcile in his head, in layman terms. Right, Cranky?
I don't know what Cranky is trying.
Yeah, here's the problem, Mannings, man. So all I'm asking Rudolph to do is put it in your constitution. Your constitution should say that if you're born, here's the problem you have, Mannings, man. A couple of things. One is, if you're born a day in Jamaica and you leave Jamaica, you're not subject to the same requirement. If you're born in Jamaica and leave the day after you're born, you're treated as a local developed player and have the same you have the same qualifications, same entitlement as the locally born players, even though you develop overseas. Because supposedly this is about developing players locally. It's about where you're born, Mannings, man. I have a problem with that. And I'm going to ask FIFA, I'm going to write to FIFA and ask them if it's okay to have a policy which contravenes your constitution.
So,
which basically says, wait, let me finish it off, which basically says this. If I'm born outside of Jamaica, but I'm a naturalized citizen, I have to be subject to this requirement where if more than 4 players are selected, first of all, it's not a meritocracy, because I have other requirements I have to meet to make the national team. That's not the same requirements, a requirement required of the locally born players. So it's a naturalization issue, or whereby if I'm born in Jamaica, I have more rights than the person who's born overseas, even though we're both citizens of Jamaica. That's what I'm hearing. And that's not okay. Change your constitution then. That's all you got to do. Change the constitution. So, let's see if that fly by FIFA.
All right. Let Mr. Speed, go ahead, and then we have Dwight on the line. So go ahead.
So what happened in the England? What are the rules governing the squad of an English Premier League team? Who know?
No, guys. No.
No.
You're making no sense, Rudolph.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I know what the rules are. You have to have 8. No, I know what the rules are.
Is there a rule? Is there a rule?
Let him finish.
Is there a rule? Is there a rule that you must have X amount of English developed players? Not in UEFA developed players. Well, no, yes. in the team.
Yes, 8 in your squad. And
hold on, is a quota that?
Yep.
Is a quota system?
Yep, it's a quota.
Is there a discrimination system?
Here's the problem you face, Rudolph.
No. Just answer me. Is a discrimination
no. Because you're conflating two things.
No. But
you don't understand what I'm talking about. Then you
can conflate two things. Like
we're talking about citizens, Rudolph.
All right.
No. I'm going to get out the program, man. You're cutting me all the time, man. I'm getting annoyed.
No.
You're cutting me when I'm trying to make a point.
Cranky, I'm not.
No. I'm
saying to you,
Rudolph, you have no idea what you're talking about, Rudolph.
While you are talking, Cranky, the two of you are talking at the same time. I'm trying to get one of you to stop so the people can hear. And you say, I'm cutting you off. It don't make sense. Both of you talk. how both of you are going to talk. So I'm going to mute Mr. Speed Cranky and then you go ahead. But when he's talking, both of us have to, both persons can talk at the same time. So you go ahead and talk and everybody
So
go
when
ahead.
you mute Cranky, me never finish.
Go ahead, talk, Rudolph. Talk.
Yes, sir. That is the problem I'm having.
Your example makes no sense, but go ahead and talk.
All right, we have Dwight on the line, but go ahead, Mr. Speed, and then Cranky, and then Dwight.
So Rudolph giving an example which makes no sense. Countries will have their own rules because they want to make sure they develop their own local talent, but they're all English. There's a bunch of people born in Ireland, who born in Wales, where their grandparents are English, and England vie for them. Rice is an example. Grealish is another example. The quota doesn't apply to them. It applies to non-born British players. I was to say it should be English players, but they're really British, because a lot of them have affiliation with people who have their lineage, of their ancestry. There's a big difference between people who are non-citizens being part of that 8 number for the UK versus these are naturalized citizens. And Jamaica Constitution talks about you have the same rights and privileges as any person. If I'm in the US here and I'm a US citizen, you tell me I can't have the same rights as somebody born here, I would lose my mind like I'm doing today. It makes no sense. Change your constitution then. And you know you can't change your constitution because you're discriminating if you change it. And we're going to run this old thing about going around in games and going around in circles. That's why the US Supreme Court knocked down the whole concept of affirmative action here, because they're saying it's unfair against Asian, by the way, who are minorities. And some of them are naturalized citizens. If you want to say you have quota, then change your constitution. But you won't change your constitution because it'd be against FIFA's rules and laws about how the constitution should be comprised. It makes no sense. And I understand, and I don't disagree about developing local footballers. I'm an advocate of that. But figure out ways to do so without discriminating. If our athletes who are track and field athletes, we don't discriminate against foreigners coming in, supposedly foreigners, when there's license come and run for Jamaica. But nobody's a problem with that because we have a litany of stars and people who compete. When it's reversed, we have a problem with it. Why? If every country was to do this, Rudolph, then the US wouldn't have anybody go to college, come here and run in college because we're taking space away from US citizens who can run. The NBA wouldn't have 30% Europeans coming into play. We're taking away space from Americans who can play. Can you guys see that problem? I'm not saying the team should be comprised of all overseas born people, but it should be a meritocracy. And if you guys can't see that, I'm confused. And those who chat with it not against me, I don't care what your thoughts are, because I'm saying that it should be a meritocracy. Give everyone the same opportunity, let them fail or succeed, but don't discriminate. And for you and Chung saying, Cranky, you don't get it, you don't get it.
All right, so hold on. We have all right, hold on, Mr. Speed. We have Dwight. Dwight, you have been waiting for a while. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, respect, gentlemen. Respect. Good afternoon. So I think one of the things that have to be changed about the policy is the verbiage, right? Cranky does have a point, and it's a verbiage. It is okay and fine for a policy to be focused on domestically or homegrown developed players. That is fully within the JFF rules and Prevy, and that's okay to have a policy of that. However, to restrict it by where somebody is born is Cranky is correct on that. Reason being is the JFF looking at a player's passport and then looking where it says they were born to determine that, because as Mr. Speed would know, there are a lot of players who are in Jamaica, raised in Jamaica, grown in Jamaica, that were not born in Jamaica. And then the second question becomes for a player and the parent to understand is, at what point does a player leave Jamaica? Is he not considered homegrown? Is that 10 years old, 11 years old, 12, 15 years old? So how long do you want them to stay in Jamaica to be considered homegrown? Once there is clarification on that policy, then you have something to go forward with. But when it's being based on where they're born, that becomes a significant issue where Cranky is right. He is correct on that, because I was part of the youth system a long time ago. My brother is not born the same place where I was born. So you would have one sibling get one treatment and the next sibling get another treatment. Same mother and father, raised in the same country for the same amount of time. That's where the issue is. And that's where I say Cranky is correct, but it's the wording of the policy. You need to say homegrown or home developed players, and they need to specify how long that player is developed in Jamaica. That's my 2 cents. Respect.
Look, I don't want people to think that I don't understand what Speed and Ricketts and Chung and others are faced with, right?
So, Cranky, are you alone out talk?
Okay, go ahead.
But I interrupted him because he said.
Go ahead, Speed. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Go ahead.
All I can see here is that the same thing where Cranky accused me of, he man do it in a reverse. Because at the end of the day, the stakeholders in Jamaica, right? The stakeholders in Jamaica don't believe for 1 minute what Cranky has said. And then the people in the diaspora are go believe in everything what Cranky has said. That is why there was the compromise, because you still have stakeholders in Jamaica who say not even one overseas player must play on the team. And that is why the compromises we think a reasonable figure is 720, and if you need more, ask. So if in my mind, a smart coach would do this. When even we spoke about under 20 must be professional players, right? We said that. January said that too, don't? Man's man?
Yes.
Right.
Professional, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Professional me. Yeah, that was it.
Right. So if I was a coach, and me know say me have the 7-man rule, me get the best 7 players that me can find, right? And then me come back and say, you see, in Jamaica, me only have 5 professional players who have a quality to play on the team. So me need 8 more overseas. All the person have to do is justify it, But them are listen to Cranky and drinking Kool-Aid. They don't want to do no work. They don't want to justify nothing. The reason why them have to do it, and that is the problem we have. And because the quota is there for stop nothing, just justify why you want more. And me keep on saying it, and we say it again, because at the end of the day, you will never see a Jamaican youth squad where have 21 overseas players. It will never happen, cannot happen. And if it happens, then you have the backlash, the opposite backlash from everybody local.
So I am not advocating.
What is considered an overseas-based player? How do you define that?
The 7 is a player who is not born in Jamaica. But if he's born in Jamaica and then leave and go overseas, him don't count in the 7. If he's born one day in Jamaica and leave and go overseas,
So all right, what? All right, so this is why I'm saying that. Hold on, do it. This is why I'm saying that. In the whole explanation of it, there's so many things that can be conflicting. For example, like let me give you an example, Mr. Spin. And I think this is a challenge. Like for my son, you met him recently. As an example, spend time in Jamaica overseas. He's treated different from the one who has never been to Jamaica, but they are both Jamaicans, and I think that is where this conflict is. Right? So I have a cousin in England. He comes and visit once every 5 years, just to visit, but he knows the Jamaican culture. But him getting into the team is based on a coach justifying him being in the team, when his cousin, because his cousin spent a little bit more time in Jamaica, right, gets a easy buy-in because he spends more time in Jamaica, basically. And I think that is where I think Cranky is saying that the policy itself creates a lot of conflict in terms of.
Even before you go to the policy, every team that a lot of national teams, now I'll show you something. A lot of national teams, senior national teams, carry 1 or 2 youngsters who show potential. On the face of it, they are not good enough to really make a team against the big men, But that coach would have discriminated against the bigger, older players just because he wanted to carry a certain amount of players for development. Am I right or am I right? Have you ever seen that?
Listen, are you right or are you right?
Yeah, have you ever seen that? A coach just carries on young players, not because they're better than the old man, them, you know, but just because they want them for development purposes. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, coaches do that. Yeah.
So no discrimination that. Them not the best.
No.
No?
No. I don't think that is discrimination.
But what is discrimination then?
So
They're not the best, they shouldn't be on the team.
All right. No. All right. So remember, this is why I have to make the distinction. I think Cranky can come in after this. That there has to be a distinction between quality of a player and the nationality of a player.
No, what we just say was the coach made up his mind to put a quota on the older players and decide to want X amount of players at a certain age. And we practice that in Jamaica all the time, nobody now. We practice
So if a coach said every senior team that I select, I need 2 players under 20 on it. You're saying that is discrimination against older players?
Yeah, it is. But it happened.
No, if he said where that player is born is another question.
No. Indiscriminate by age.
All right, Cranky, you respond to that because I don't.
Man, we're talking subjectivity versus something which is not subjective. Your nationality, where you're citizen of, is not subjective. Whether I select a player or not, because of I want to call it younger player or older player, is a total different situation. Has nothing to do with where I was born, man. Now your citizen is where you were born. So here's a case of man. Hypothetically, if 20 people are born in the UK, I was born in the UK. I went to Jamaica when I was 3.5 years old. So I went to Jamaica when I'm 2, and I lived in Jamaica all my life. Am I subject to the same requirement? So I have 20 people born in the UK or the US, go back to Jamaica to live. They live there till they're 16, 17 years old. Are they subject to the same rule? Will those 17 be then say we have to justify why I select 7 and then the remaining one have to be justified? Is that right, Rudolph? No. Would you have to justify if you're 3-year-old, 20 people are 3-year-old, like I was, go to Jamaica to live, went to high school in Jamaica. They all qualified to play for the national team based on merit. You're saying of those 20, 13 would have to be justified. Right?
I think you're on the phone. You think you're muted, Mr. Speed, so we're not hearing you. I don't know if you're talking or you're on the phone because I heard the phone ringing.
Management.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah, I think he's on the phone. Do it. Yeah, go ahead because we are the
No problem. Yeah,
go ahead.
Is there a limit on the amount of? Is there a limit on the amount of foreign players allowed in a JPL squad?
A limit on the amount of there's a limit if there's a limit on the amount of JPL players.
It's the same question. Speaking about England.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. There's a limit on the amount. Brian, you were still here, man. You come in so strong a while ago, man. Yeah, man. There is. All right. So let me read. Yes, do it. But we had the next person calling in. Do it. You have been on for a little while. See if you can. Yeah. All right. So discrimination is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the ground of ethnicity, age, sex, or disability. All right. So if the coach says, I am not picking any player, right, I'm going to include 2 players who are 18 in all of my squad at the expense of a player who is 25. That is age discrimination. All right.
There's a difference, Mannings.
No.
Exposure, for example.
Right. So I am saying though, because the coach does that, it doesn't justify what we are talking about because that too is wrong.
Yeah.
So let me just make it clear. That too is wrong. For example, if a coach come out and says, we will not include anyone of a particular sexual orientation in our team, that is wrong as well. That is discrimination.
So all the traditional media who like to watch these channels, why don't you pick this up and address it in a public forum so we can hear more about this? Because you guys come on these channels and you pick it and you run back to your stations with your information, but you don't like to touch upon things which are too controversial because it's too hot for you to handle. Handle this one.
Yeah, but yeah.
So the age thing is discrimination.
Yeah, man, yeah. And sexual based on their sexual. Yeah,
man is man. I'm trying to find the constitution for the JFF, you know.
No,
I don't know. I have it here someplace. I'm trying to find it.
Can't get the English language. Remember, it's an English class today, you know.
So what's the
the point I'm making though, Cranky, is that it doesn't
take away discrimination.
It don't. No, what I'm saying though, Mr. Speed, it doesn't take away from.
It's not okay.
Exactly.
It's not okay.
It is adding to Cranky's point. In other words, it is the same way that if there's a 15-year-old who's better than the player and somebody don't select him because he's young, that is also age discrimination.
So let me add two more factors.
No. We have connecting flight. Welcome.
Right, so
This is the man who better than Cavaliers winning, you know.
them rob way, my youth, them rob way.
You need to send him a jersey. Send him a Cavaliers jersey.
Imagine now, right? A coach, I go pick a team and he can call one man. He can go downtown Jamaica and call one madman and he not have to explain himself. But he have to explain to call a man from foreign. We're more than likely 9 out of 10 times I go in a better academy. But there's no explanation for anybody from Jamaica, but he have to explain himself to call a man from foreign. Mr. Speed.
As a matter of fact, Carla, I don't relax no, Carla, because you see people that talk over emotion. As a matter of fact, Carla, even although we say that about under 20 player, nobody when they play professional football. Me say it over and the coach agree. Anybody that is in the under 20 system must be a professional footballer. So go downtown no apply. And no player Jamaica when in the professional world mustn't play either, in my opinion. But I know me pick teams. Me tell them this all the time.
Okay. Okay, so there was, we can admit then, we can, from what we saw in the last under 20, based on that, no professional players, there were errors in selection because there were players who are not professionals in
exactly.
the team.
And that is why I say if a person smart, if we stop one like say with dumb and just listen to what me I say, because in every rule, there's a way, there's a provision that him can get more players. All me would say if I'm like the coach, say listen, when we go through Jamaica, me have 5 players who are amateur who me have to go pick. And based on what we agree on, I think it's necessary to replace those 5 amateur because we have no more professional in Jamaica with 5 overseas based players and him up to 12. Jesus Christ. The people them go like say they have no sense and then they come and talk about
is wrong. That's why your starting point is wrong. Your starting point is wrong.
Yo, me can't bother do no man. You're not going like because
exclusionary, then you want to include based on certain criteria. There should be no criteria.
You have to justify it. I'm stick
double because double. Go ahead, double. Like finish up. So he's saying that double in the first place, professional. Yeah. All right.
I hope it's a fit, but this is the question, right? Why not just pick the best player at any level from anywhere in the world to carry the country as further as possible?
All right. So that's why I wanted to throw in 2 other factors in there because when you think of YouTube, Jamaica YouTube, there's also the concept where the most famous coach in Jamaica in a track and field said, and I'm paraphrasing, he does not pick the player that you see at champs win and come first and second and the glamour ones and for coach to become world beater. Because they are so much exposed to good coaching, those ones, that the level, the improvement is a small amount because they are coached to the max. He prefer pick up a runner who is coached by a lesser talented coach because him can rate when can improve him is much greater, right? So it's the same thing apply for football. Any player, just let me finish. Any player you see overseas because of facility.
Hold on, double. Let him finish, double. He's not finished yet. Let him finish. Go ahead. Let him
because
finish.
of facilities and them exposed to such better coaching. Because most of our players is not even coached by anybody who know anything about coaching. It is likely that the diamond in the roughs in Jamaica could improve at a much larger rate. Instead of take a player out of academy overseas, look for one in our semi-pro and try see if he can improve at a much larger rate. So that is one other consideration that we're looking at. The fourth one, when we want to take into consideration, is economics. It is difficult to take a man from England or Wales or Australia to come and play for their team in Jamaica when they might come sit down on the bench. You might pick a man for start and a few more for reserve. But if it's a player where you figure say there is an overseas based player who is playing centre forward and you're picking for centre forward, there's another centre forward who are being backup who come from Australia where cost us $5 million to come into the country, we might say, you know what, we have to go do it without that one. So there's a whole heap of factors why decisions are made, but we just need to look on one.
All right, so there are two different things. Double. There's one thing is that you cannot and you choose not to because there are for example, I am not going to go for a third string keeper. If the top two keepers available and talent are born in Jamaica, the third string hold on, Double. Let me just finish. If the third string keeper is not good at all and in England, I would say why not use, because if there's a similar talent in Jamaica, I don't think we're arguing that. No, I don't think
talent.
Yeah, I don't think everybody agree with that, Mr. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Fifth one now, man.
Yeah, why?
Fifth one is this. Mr. Speed have the youngest team in the Jamaica. So based on what Mr. Speed said, believe it or not, each player is more likely to get picked in the under 20, which is gonna give them exposure, where in turn they are more likely to be sold and money can be in Mr. Speed pocket. That is
it's not my pocket, it's a club.
Then are you on the club, Mr. Speed?
Not me alone. Not me alone. Don't talk where you don't know. Not me alone.
Well, at least you want it too. You want part of it, and you admit it.
Yeah, so why you think me say anything else? That is not so. But why you attack me personally?
But Mr. Speed,
no, why you attacking me personally?
Yeah.
No, I mean I show the people in the point say
you attack me personally because there's other people who have young players in Jamaica too.
Yeah, but Mr. Speed,
about the argument. Man is man. If I abuse you, the man abuse me, I come off my program. Because look here, this man, make your point. Don't attack me, brother. Don't make your point, don't attack me.
All right, but Mr. Speed, look into this, right?
Don't attack me, man. You know, so I come on this program so people can ask me questions and I answer. Me not coming to attack me.
All right. So
Mr. attack me integrity. Let me tell you something, you know. Double, me don't know who you be. But me I tell you this. You say if you ever accuse me of being dishonest, me hate you for life, you know. Me I tell you that. Don't do it.
But Mr. Speed, you can't.
Me I tell you something about me. Me I tell you something about me.
All right,
because I have one dishonest bone in my body.
All right. So Mr. Speed.
But Mr. Speed, I forgot about when me see in front of me.
You hear what me said, though? So if you continue, you know if you just continue. I mean, I won't right now, but continue.
All right. Hey. All right. Hold on. Double. Mr. Speed.
Yeah.
Last week you told our friend. This week on the
me and him are a friend. Time he might chat me if say me dishonest. Me and him are a friend. Hate him.
All right. All right. So here's the thing. All right. So double. Yo, we saw at the show. Double.
That rough up some feather, man.
All right, double. All right.
All good.
All right, double. All right. So here's the thing. So, all right. So it's a lot of things have come to the fore in this. Cause we don't want to fight. We have election coming up on Wednesday. on Sunday and thing. But here's what though. I think though, while there are valid reasons for many of these things, I think, and this is my thing, and I've said this, I believe that there are good players in Jamaica. Like I've used like Christopher Ainsworth as an example and Adrian Reed as two of the players that I like. I think regardless of the talent pool, I believe that those players, even the goalkeeper, Lynch is his name, I believe, very good. I didn't even know that he was that good with his feet. I think even if we recruited players from overseas, I think those players would still be in the team. So I know that there is good enough talent that can be in the team, even with quality players coming in. All right, that's it. What I think
So
needs to happen to
I
avoid.
gotta jump in here, man. I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
hold on. What
No, no,
happened?
jump in. Let me just read this. Let me just read this, guys. Let me just read this.
You see, man,
Everyone,
cut him off. All right, go ahead. So cut me
let
off.
me just read this. This is JFF, Article 4, non-discrimination and equality. Discrimination of any kind against a country, private person or group of people on account of race, skin color, ethnic, national or social origin, gender, disability, language, religion, political opinion or any other opinion, wealth, birth. This is your own constitution, or any other status, sexual orientation, or any other reason strictly prohibited and punishable by suspension or expulsion and or any of disciplinary measures. This is the JFF Constitution, which says birth is illegal. Now, when you come on this program and give me justification for going against your own constitution, it makes no sense. And we can come up with 1,001 reasons, but it's illegal based on your constitution, not mine, yours. Go read Article 4, non-discriminatory clause and equality clause. It's unambiguous. It's clear. There is no ambiguity. So when you say cranky XYZ, I go on your website, look at your constitution, and you come on the program, Rudolph, and saying, oh, but you guys don't get it. Here's the reasons why. You can't give me a reason for discriminating. None. And when Chunk come and say this nonsense to me and challenging, Cranky doesn't know what he's talking about. When he talks about me being an accountant, he has no idea. Go look at my resume, for Christ's sake. Okay? This is not bragging. This is facts. What? I'm reading your own constitution. I'm reading your constitution.
So can I finish?
By the way, defense rest.
Can I finish my point now, Mr. Cranky?
Yes.
If you cut me off again, if you cut me off again, I'm coming off the show. Because every time I'm talking, listen, if you cut me off again, I'm coming off the show. I'm coming off the show if you cut me again. Brian, your time as Duckland calls it. Brian, go ahead and then I get it from.
No, I want to hear what Duckland has to say first.
Duckland, from one Senate to another. This is the smartest Senate is right here. The not so smart Senate on the phone. What say you, Duckland?
I don't know what you're talking about. No. But every now and again you have a program manning, so you're forced to call in, and this is one of them. Just listening to the issues, I think you can't go around Cranky's point. Cranky is right. I think it is discrimination, and we can't go around that. But I also understand, I guess, the objective of what the JFF wants to do. Yeah, they want to develop local talent. So my question is, why not, instead of using birth, why not use where you apply your trade? If they want to ensure that local talent is developed, why not say if you apply your trade in Jamaica, then you attach quote unquote a quota on that? What would be the issue with that?
That's a question. So Duckland is saying, if you say where you apply your trade, meaning, any player, any amount over 7 playing overseas must be justified. In terms of right, Duckland? That should be the wording.
Exactly, because when from your use birth, it's automatic discrimination.
Yeah.
Like, the Constitution does say it. And how can you really go against your Constitution?
Yeah. Let me hear from Brian, Mr. Speed, and Cranky on this. Go ahead. I see Mr. Speed look like him digging up something on the.
No. May I agree with the caller. We just all change the word.
Yeah, I'll charge for that.
Might as well forget a commission for that.
Hey, Cranky, thank you, Cranky. Cranky, what do you have to say, Cranky?
Being right.
He's asking that you're right. He's right, and he's going to change the wording.
Being right doesn't give me solace.
Ryan, what say you? Good point, Douglas. Hear what Brad have to say.
Yeah, man. The smart over and out.
He is the smartest tenant.
But Mannings, hear what Rudolph doesn't understand. You can't discriminate against someone based on where they're born if they're a citizen.
I agree.
I think he doesn't understand that we understand what he wants the outcome to be. What we don't
No. Mannings. Here's what the caller just said, which Rudolph knows and needs to get to. And don't circumvent this to get there, Rudolph. You and I know what you need to do.
I will.
Exactly.
You need to improve every aspect of the football to get the players to be able to compete on a global, international basis.
I'm doing that
you
too.
You don't have to exclude to accomplish your objective.
I'm doing that too, but I agree with the caller. I'm going to change the word.
Yeah, but mine's man, you know, all right. So you see, sometimes me not really
changing the word doesn't fix it enough because you create more problem when you change it.
No, but you can't say me I go against my constitution. We can't get rid of that.
But you already did it.
Different.
You already did it. You did it already. And you may play get the word out. You're still gonna do it. In substance, you're gonna do it. In form, you're gonna say you don't do it. And I'm gonna bring it up again.
Yeah,
I will not be distressed.
And I'll read it to you answer that now in there. I'll be the one reading the next time.
Point out that you do it because you will have policy which says how you operate.
Which is the policy that says that. It's a policy was in place, before this constitution.
I not really agree with the quota thing. But I kind of understand, I guess, where Mr. Speed is coming from in terms of when he explained how them come by the quota. So I kind of understand that. But you know that we had a player in the under 20 that traveled all the way from Europe and he didn't play 10 minutes in the entire competition.
And I think that is what Mr. Speed is saying, was that.
And I am not. I don't even know how we came by to allow that to happen. I don't think that is the best use of resources.
Maybe he was injured.
In terms of go again?
Maybe he was injured. I don't know. I just said maybe he was injured.
No, he played. He turned 100 games for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, so what I think is like the policy cannot deal with that though. Like that is where a coach have to give account because
what happened, management?
You can take a local player, a domestic player, and they don't get any minutes either. And there needs to be justification.
So I don't think in the last under 20, we did that too. And look, it's because we have information where other people not have now. We did that and we looked at some players, how much it costs us and how much minutes them play. And some of them, after a while, they didn't play any minutes. Even some of the parents them upset because of the coach. So when player in son come from far and I get no game. So we have more information than what you think. And that is why I take Frankie point. My first one, if you admit something wrong, if you read it out, we take him point. So we'll probably go against the constitution and then I'll do a change the word because we still want
other factors that guide the decision.
Yeah, we have other factors. We not just come to it so because we just get up and come to the decision. I'm gonna tell you the other factors, nobody don't want to hear them, but it's true.
No, we understand.
Brother, here's the thing. In life, guys, you can find analogies any place and anywhere. The US had affirmative action because of slavery, because of blacks
and South Africa too.
I'm getting there.
No, not South Africa, Africa.
We know, man. You can come with a ton of reasons why you decide to do something. And the US, it would seem to be justifiable if you have excluded someone from the process for years and now you're trying to make up to get them to the finish line so they can all be on the same level. It's not the same thing in Jamaica.
Hey, Cranky, this
the
is
US. Go ahead now.
Sorry, you know what is funny though? Do you know that, and this is a good point that Rainford is making, in the Constitution, right, while it covers those things, when that part of the Constitution is it speaking specifically to team selection or persons who are employed at the GFF. While it must be addressed.
It's talking to the operation of the.
No,
man.
man.
Slice and parse the things that we want.
No, man, cranky. No, listen, the point is going to be fixed and changed. But what is there must remain because it goes beyond player selection, cranky. It goes into how the operation, organization, which all of these things that birth must be in there as well. In other words,
Rudolph can say, but take it a lot he want, it cannot come out.
No, man. Listen, so what
I never seen you take it out. Why you say that, Cranky?
No, man. So what I'm saying,
go ahead.
No, man. So what I'm saying, Cranky, is that there are two things. So the Constitution is twofold. While it may be applied in terms of team selection,
right,
and that must be adjusted, right? When it comes on, however, to how they treat employer-employee relation, right, it's an important policy that must constitute all of these things, including the birth, and it cannot be reworded. It must be in its present form.
Yeah.
But it cannot be applied to selection in its present form, because then it is discrimination from the federation side, while it protects the people who are seeking employment in the JFF from discrimination. So it must be in there for that aspect, but outward bound, it must be reworded to facilitate all Jamaicans. And I think that is the point Rainford is making. So it is kind of in a sense.
Look, look, I'm not going to tell people this is an easy thing to solve, right? I know exactly what Rudolph is trying to achieve and JV is trying to achieve. I'm not against what they're trying to achieve, man, which is to get local players to be at the same level and compete with not only people born overseas, but just in general, right? The question is the method you employ to achieve that objective. And the method one of these methods that we have here, to me, is not the right method. And I understand the whole monetary situation. I understand about 10 minutes versus 5 minutes, but that's not the point. It has to be revisited about how you think about doing this, because it doesn't really work for. Why would, if people understand this, if you're born outside of Jamaica and you're a Jamaican national now, why would people see the team want to play for Jamaica? If you know that you're not favorably received, if we're saying in Jamaica that the local stakeholders, and by the way, Rudolph, here's an interesting one, Rudolph. The Brazil coach, the new Brazil coach, said he want more local players in his team. You know why? Same thing you're saying. Wait, no. Brazil don't have any seaborn players in their team, you know. He want more locally based players in his team because he's trying to appease local stakeholders. While the reason why he sent the players overseas is because they've been good enough to go overseas. So I understand the local pressures that are abound to have locally based players, not just develop local in your team, but we have to employ the right process and method to achieve a given objective. That Brazil coach will not long be in his job if he's going to have 10 local players in his team because they weren't good enough to go overseas in the first place. Because they export all their good players.
Yes,
so I understand the pressures locally.
So, Cranky, remember when I was talking about Rob Smith brought up a good point. What I was saying to you is that since Jamaica don't have there is no World Cup for U15.
Right.
What you have is, you remember I was making that point. At U15, there's no FIFA World Tournament. And you were still, I think Rob Smith is saying that he had a problem with that, which is the point I was making. It is, while people can be citizens, it is pointless at under 15 to go and get kids from England to come and play in a tournament. But if they come, if they choose to the parents get the resources for them to come, that's fine. But at under 15, it don't, because there's no regional tournament, and whatever they are doing, the elite players at their clubs are probably accomplishing way more if they stay there than if they come and play in the U15 thing that we went to, which is like 4 games in 8 days. What is the sense of that when they have development? What must happen is that the citizenship part be done from that stage, so that by the time they get to 17 and under 20s, then it is a CFU. Yeah, it's only the CFU because it's not a World Cup. It's not a qualifying tournament for anything. It's invitation based, really. And they invite all other clubs team to participate in it and other nations outside of CONCACAF, because it's really what they call grassroots program. So why would we get kids in well-established academies to come and play in a grassroots tournament?
Yeah, you know, man, it reminds me of when I look at like Arsenal or Man U and how fans get about academy developed players getting to the team, right? And they're passionate about it. But that those people are losing, they don't want that to happen, Mannings, man. They're going to play the best players. The same teams who are passionate about it, have good academy, still don't play the players. The point I'm trying to make is I understand the localized thinking and they need to be affiliated with people who are in your domain, in your immediate domain. That's understandable. But the how is important also. The how you achieve your objective is important. Not just the what, but the how. And the how to me here needs to be changed. I understand what the JPL is trying to do. And by the way, guys, I must say this again. I'm tired of hearing the word, that I'm taking up for Rudolph here because he's here. And I heard it last night in another program. We keep using this word corruption. People, unless you have evidence, don't call nobody corrupt. Unless you have evidence, do not call anyone corrupt. And now you can say your decision they have made appears to be corrupt, but don't call somebody corrupt unless you have evidence. Don't do it. We don't want to be accused when those things happen to us, so we shouldn't do that.
Let me just say this as well, right? Here's the thing. The reason why Mr. Speed still come onto the program is that no matter how robust the discussions are, there has to be a level of respect. And let me tell you, the truth is, you see a lot of you talking, if Mr. Speed don't come on the program, you know, we don't have these things to understand and debate and to talk about and discuss. A lot of it is speculation. Because you hear what Brian made a point this morning and says, listen, maybe what they write off the article said is not what they meant with the 350. It is possible that there was a misrepresentation of the information, all right, which is true. But the fact that Mr. Anderson is not on or any representative from his team, it means that we can't have a wholesome discussion. The point is, no matter how robust the discussion is, people like Speed still come onto the program and talk to us. And even if you don't like him for whatever reason, here's the thing. He has come out today and he has admitted that there needs to be change. And I think sometimes even with those things, people still, Brian, you're getting some feedback for it. Even with those things, people still have an issue. Again, when you say people are corrupt, it's a very, very, very strong word to use. I don't think some of us, I sometimes I honestly don't think some of us are taking time out to look at the use of the word and what it means. The truth is, if Jamaica were the kind of society like the US, a lot of us would be in some serious issues in terms of lawsuits. And that's just the way.
Well, I can say Trump is corrupt because he was proven a court of law. That he stayed in his apartment from 10,000 to 30,000. You can make that statement when the court of law proven that he was, but you can't just cause. And you have more latitude with public figures, right? If it's your opinion versus you're saying this is a fact, but you can't go out and say somebody's corrupt when you don't have any evidence.
So Mr. Speed, so again, listen, I know double support your team. So I mean, I know you probably felt a little ruffled. We know that you're not going to run away from the fight you'll cry, but I'm glad that both of you kind of eased down on it. But I must say, I'm very grateful that you have said that, listen, you look into this thing and make the changes in terms of the wording. Because while, like I said, I understand the end in mind, you know. It's just sometimes the representation in terms of what is spoken, it comes off a big way. All right? Big up, man. Robinson.
Speed and Chung don't respect me. You know why? You know why they don't respect me? Because I bring this about the 10th time I bring this up, you know. And I point to it, and then I even go back and check. Them say, dismiss Cranky. Cranky don't know what I talk about.
So Cranky, why have a put your...
They accepted it on the 11th.
I have to insert myself because I brought this up numerous times in these forums. Speed, we're the new media and Speed. This is new media, you know. The whole media no matter. They're not interested in the football, Speed. You know they're not interested in the football. We keep the football alive. We talk about football 24/7. They don't care.
No, Cranky, but all other day, even the other day, you know that the other day...
dismiss me.
No, the president said, hey, Cranky, man, I would love to talk to you, that man.
No, I'm not the president of Frank, the friend is the person we can't talk to. If I don't know the president, I'm a friend. You know that already. Can you tell me, say, Cranky, if I'm a reason, I say, Cranky, I'm going to look into it and come back to you. It won't dismiss me like Chung say, Cranky don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. All right.
No, but Rudolph, let me say this before Rudolph go active, because Rudolph, I do respect you. I've said this numerous times. You and I will never get along 100% because we have similar personalities and similar view on things. So two things can match up like they should. But I respect you coming on these programs, being in the firing line, not ducking the fire, providing perspective, so we all can learn, right? Because we're here to learn. We're not here just to provide information to the general public. We're here to learn. And I respect the fact that you come out here and speak. And last night I listened to a program where the person was talking about the JFF corrupt, the JFF corrupt. But I didn't hear them come in. And one person is part of the JFF. And he was saying the same thing. And I'm sitting there saying, well, can you be part of an organization that says corrupt and you've been there forever? Doesn't make any sense to me. So why are you there? And aren't you questioning your own integrity when you say that? Right? We got to be careful, as Speed would say, about words we use, how those words are received, and how we're going to be perceived based on what we're saying. And if you come out of part of an organization and say they are corrupt, not saying we are corrupt, you know. They are corrupt, but I'm part of the organization. It makes no sense. And I listened to the program all night. I didn't chime in. I listened to the program all night. I didn't call in. I just listened and says, sometimes we have to self-reflect before we make certain statements.
Yeah. I'm tough for you to say you have 4 years to work and you deliver before you can be the JFF president.
I'm not going to be the president.
If Speed would be like Trump, you know, just say, you know what? Just do what I want to do. No, tell me nothing. Because I know no Steve, not do what I want to do. Because
you know, say, I am not like that. So you know why me can talk so strong because me get consensus. Everything you see me do, me get agreement from top to bottom.
You know why you work at Cavalier Speed? Because Andrew has Ricketts' personality.
And that's why I'm at JFF too, because Ricketts have Ricketts' personality. You know, funny enough, you see what you just said that, and when the president come and him have a good and you get the president and you like the president. So what you think happen when the soft skills then can't work? How you thinking, Sen?
I'm saying the hatchet man.
Oh.
So maybe both Ricketts and Andrew are lucky to have you, because I met Andrew last year. It was at an event I was emceeing. In fact, I met Andrew before that, actually. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about Cavaliers a lot, but he's a really nice person. So yeah.
And he played for that about 25 years, you know, for Cavalier. You know?
I know he's 25 years. One of my friends is his best friend, actually.
Mm.
He's a good person.
All right. Just a quick release here to all directives from the directive from the JFF is that all games scheduled for Sunday, 17th of March 2024, be postponed due to the JFF vote in Congress. JPL games originally scheduled for that date has been shifted on Wednesday, the 20th of March. Game scheduled for the Monday the 18th will be played as scheduled. Thank you for taking note and be advised accordingly. All right, MF, this is where you and us MF, you're losing the plot now, my brother. Stick back to discussing football and leave the politics. Yeah, you're on a good path.
If you vote for Trump, you're deplorable, as Clinton called it.
Yo, I don't think that helped Hillary, you know, so I'm not sure you should not use it.
No, Hillary wasn't helped because of her situation with the files. That's what killed her. It wasn't done in the world.
Yeah. Yes, at least we got to something. I think we better understand the situation with the under 20 coach John Wall. We hope that the team can indeed have some camp and prepare and stuff. But you did
question before you move on. So Mr. Speed, so John Wall is the only change to the coaching staff?
Yeah.
The
rest don't have that. So Andrew Sword is still the coach, the goalkeeper coach. Rudolph Fasten is still assistant.
But Andrew Sword didn't go with the last under 20.
No, because he was supposed to go with the female, and then everything got messed up. So Andrew is the coach, the goalkeeper coach, and Karen Lumsden is the manager. I just wanted to say all the people in the diaspora, whether England and the USA, who want to represent Jamaica, Nothing has changed. You just need to get your passport, and people want to recommend players to play for the country. That won't change under Jerome Waite. Just send in your recommendation. Please, as we said, try and make it the good players, not everybody. None of those things will change. They'll be afforded an opportunity to represent the country based on the structure that we have. So nothing has changed, and we think we're giving the team the best chance to qualify based on what we have lined up for in terms of preparation for this team.
Yeah.
And I want to make a statement that the stakeholders in Jamaica think about Jamaica as global, not domestic.
All right, let me just say this for the people asking. Mr. Speed did mention that there is a place for Lenny Hyde in the setup. He did mention that earlier.
Yes,
I don't know if anything has been. Yes. So for those who asking, he did say that earlier. You may have missed it, but he did mention that. All right, and then he spoke about Andrew Sewell as well as the goalkeeping coach. But you were talking about a team going to Turkey.
Yes, they are going. I think it's April 19. But they are on 2006. You have to be born 2006. So it's not the ones that will be 20-year-old in the World Cup year. It will be ones that will be 19. So from the team that we had, I think are the squad. Majority of them would have been in the under 20. Not necessarily the squad that went to play in the qualifier, but in the development squad. Majority of those players. So I mean, if we get a good games there, and even 3 or 4 of those players come through, it will be good for us. So that is happening. We also have a tournament in Central America in the FIFA window, which I expect us to have all our top players, and we're going to be playing 2 teams in Central America at the under 20 level before the World Cup qualifiers come around. So we think we're in a good space, and we're trying to develop the team as best as we can. This will be one of the best prepared team in terms of the amount of time that we spend spend including money. I mean, they have been to Trinidad for 10 days. All of those things adding up, and we think we'll do very well.
So Rudolph, why Turkey? Why Turkey?
Economics. They are paying.
I prefer to go to Saudi Arabia.
Nobody's who paying.
I'm probably paying a lot of people. A lot of people they're paying. So you have limitless financial resources. Okay. So you paying the Turkey's national team or teams in Turkey?
No. Yeah, the same Turkey national under 18 team.
Okay.
Cranky, DW is asking you why not Turkey?
No. Here's the thing though. When you decide to go to a country, the question is, how am I going to benefit from that experience, right?
But he said that Turkey is a better footballing country than Saudi Arabia.
I'm thinking money when it goes to Saudi Arabia. I wasn't thinking football. I'm thinking a mutual. No, I wasn't thinking football.
We're prepared for a tournament. Why you want to go there for the money?
Money's man.
You want to go there for the preparation.
Money's
discriminating money's man.
Yes, I'm discriminating money's man because of money. Here's the thing, I'm thinking about building an affiliation with Saudi Arabia where you can trade in terms of how you engage football-wise, and they can maybe invest in your country. They seem to have limitless pocket. Turkey has money, but Turkey ain't got no money.
And we're sending a team to Spain again.
Okay.
I don't know why anybody, and this team will only include 2 local-based players. All the rest of players will come from overseas. It's a under-23 team because we want to start to encourage some of those players to want to represent the senior national team. So, as I said before, people might think
Cranky, you see, so here they're discriminating again because they're not picking only 2 local players.
Only 2 local players.
I can always say that it is next door to England. If England's other players coming from, and it's cheaper. If you're gonna use the monetary thing like you did before, we never fight the monetary thing. I don't fight the money.
So that team will go up. They're going for the visa tomorrow to go to Spain. That team will be going off, I think, the 19th of this month. They'll be going off to Spain for a short period of time again.
So will they be allowed? But that's not. Oh yeah, that is within the window. So
I think so. I think so, yes, because we're trying to get the top players. Because some of these players too, yeah, you know, the thing is that one of our plan we
Like
have.
Kanaya Boys Clark and Brandon
Yeah,
Cover,
yeah. One I plan we have is to make sure say, and that
Lee
is to
Padley
make sure say we're building a team for 2030.
Okay.
Or if the coach need a player, he can just pluck out one out of that under 23 team. So that is why we're trying to build that under 23 structure also.
So who will coach this team?
The under 23?
Yes.
I try to remember what the coach number.
Don't remember the coach of the under 23 team. This is a joke.
Anyway. I think Real Fasting is on that assignment too.
If I go get my coaching, can I apply for a job?
Sure. but no, we need a whole heap of coaches now, you know. We kind of stretch now. But it's something that we think we have to do because of the road where we are going. I said before.
Wouldn't it be good if you have like seeing that you having all of those players from Europe? Aren't there any Jamaican coach of Jamaican nationality in England?
I think we have a coach. I think we have a coach from Spain who is going to the team too. Well, look here. This one is more way to kind of reach out to the English, that part of the world, Europe, because mostly European players to make sure say them feel like they want to be a part of Jamaica. So people think I'm against it. I'm not against anybody. It's just that we have a rule and I have to enforce the rule. And people want to go, you want some more players ask, because that's the rule. And that rule was there before the new constitution, frankly. So so I know I agree, so we have to change it. So the truth is we have to do a whole heap of things to try and make it better for Jamaicans. And we're not even caught up with and I'm wondering if the person asked the two people from Jamaica just because of that. They want Jamaicans to be on the team.
Yeah. Let me just ask you, Gunless Boss on the line. Welcome to the I Am Sure Sports. Gunners Boss, not Gunless Boss. Gunners Boss.
Brethren, you can't just take my call them without just taking these swipes at me. Why you always swiping at me, dog?
The gun stick around.
What's up with that? You're always swiping at me.
Big up Gunners Boss.
Frankie did it attack what a foolishness. Big up yourself, military. And I challenge Mr. Speed with these big words what me not understand or no know. Because sometimes all Mannings man are over here speaking and spoken and bite off of the tongue. And Jamaican people not that way. If you don't want the world, they accept no more. No. Be Jamaican and talk the real raw patois stuff. Speak this spoken fancy lad stuff. And that me I tell you, Mannings man talking about, they are not there. And sometimes Mannings man says some words that they're not even in a dictionary. You just try to put it here and make it look like free or something. But if you just get natural and chatty things natural, Mr. Speed are the only one over here chat natural like a Jamaican. I'm sure no say you have more international.
What is natural? What is natural? What is natural?
Don't step on my car. Don't step on my car.
Don't hate because we speak English. Don't hate because we speak English. Don't hate because we speak English.
John Clanky, you other than Mr. Speed, I think Mr. Speed and you have them. Because yourself the general, Mr. Speed. I like how you stand in the crowd and run with some people. A long time I tell you that some people get too bright over here when you come talk to them. For them not come to talk and know what's going on. They come to attack you personally. Some of them bad mind because you're not JFF and you have a little thing going over stuff. So them they attack say, yes, we don't want Mr. Speed to run things because you want to back up your whole of the play them over there, but them see them want to discriminate against Jamaican youth. To get youth with born and grow up in England, we have better opportunity more than Jamaican youth. Stand your ground, Mr. Speed. We don't want no whole heap of foreigners, reject foreigners on our national team because they are not representing us for our patriotic values. They are representing us for their personal
Donna's boss.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you.
No,
I have a question for you. Are you a U.S. citizen?
I'm listening.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Me a legal immigrant. Me a deport you 10 times. Me get the back. So now I have that to run with now.
You're not answering me. Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
Well, skirt the point. You're not?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want no United States citizenship.
That's
cannot
not,
get none.
we need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. You're missing the point. You live here. You don't live in Jamaica, you don't live in England. You live here. So we should talk about that at some point. The point I'm trying to make is this.
I am a British subject, not a citizen. And them take back that no, nobody can get, no Jamaican can get British subject no more. Because you have to go over the nose. So then kick with to the curve and we are sucked up to them now. Go ahead.
But no, Jamaican can get British citizenship. I just got citizenship for my niece and nephew, so that's not true. But anyway, and who were born in Jamaica, by the way. The point I'm trying to make is this, Gunners Boss. The point I'm trying to make, Gunners Boss. Gunners Boss.
Gunners Boss. All right, let Cranky go ahead. Listen.
What I'm trying to make, Gunners Boss, is that if you live in the US and you afford certain privileges, you would love to know that those privileges are not going to be taken away from you, right? Correct?
Yes, yes.
Right. So when you're saying, I understand the need of you and Rudolph to develop local players and give them opportunity, I'm all for that. But there are ways of doing things, Gunners Boss. And some ways you employ to do things may not be the right way. I heard somebody come on TV and justify scamming because man poor and man hungry. That's not the right way to do to try to generate resources to help feed your family. There are ways of doing things.
I'm gonna go there. Because as a Cranky, as a military man, an American citizen, distinguished career as a military and other things you've done. I've been looking at your profile. Now, Stan, you cannot mix up football with the political party and football election with political party. It's the general public votes for the people who are running in the general election. Maybe sometimes it's not the general public decide who wins, but at least they have a chance to vote. In the football election, there is no such thing as the general public have a choice to pick who and who. It's they and their little click and cruise and crownies do their thing over there. So how comes me here now talk about Mr. Ricketts and Mr. Anderson and the end up talk about Trump and Biden? A long time they are listening to the one when him Kyle come over here with a bag of foolishness and show me they are working, and I'm in front of the office me they are working and I fight up myself, I not even remember the things them me that talk about when I come over here come challenge them. Because today Mr. Speed is the only one makes sense. The most you show you give me one little gift make me take up here.
Bribe you.
Me that talk up the things them before me get bribe. So nothing wrong if me get here to continue on the same pace when me did there. I am not against the player. I am more pro employers than pro employee. No, but at the end of the day, you have to look at things for what they are. I don't hear going to come over here. We want to talk about here. We want the national team and we want the national honor seven. But we don't talk about building from down, like Mr. Speeder said, from building from down up, We don't want to build from up come down. And what kind of building that you know to build? I must say pyramid, you know to build or something. Because me not see which part, as long as Frankie said something earlier, and that I remember now. So let me touch it.
Oh, you just remember the point of the call now. All right, so let's get into the call.
No, man, I don't have no special point to call for this, man. I just call to talk and based on some things I hear and what I remember. And well, like Cranky said, money can bring. The only time money was, something of that. The only time Jamaica football was good was in the late 70s to the coming into the mid 80s till when we get to the World Cup, because people had money and was spending money across Jamaica in every parish in football. Not we begging people from overseas to come represent us. It's because the football is nice at Jamaica, so people want to come play. And them come play and some people get picked. And then we hear about a few talents from overseas. But it's because we have Reno, Wadaga, and over all 14 parish have at least one or two football teams actively playing at some level of football back then. I think now it's more, that's why the youth are someone when you're like, when I make kids them learn to play football so they can come represent Jamaica and stop that about a foreign thing. When all of a sudden, we Jamaicans just want everything from foreign. It have to be foreign. When I grew up, we don't care about nothing from foreign. We feel what we have and do what we have. That's why we are sick on a fast now, because I would need to want from foreign. Let's go with that. Force the people them and stop tell JSF to go buy ball and bring ball and come to Jamaica come and fight them. We say, yes, put the money in our domestic league and make we get players and we can pick and choose and refuse stuff. Because it better me try to grow my own bad picnic. When I'll go over so go take fear bad picnic come say me and up in for raising over for me yard. Nothing no go so come backward on the thing there. And then now I'm gonna wait. I don't care how much people no bring for it. As soon as the team no make it, then gone back at the yard like the woman them do. And gone back to them coach and them people there.
All right, Gunners boss.
Tell me for shut up, yeah.
Gunners boss. So I've listened to you for 10 minutes and I disagree with everything that you have said. But just
expect you to agree with me, man. So you agree with me when this part of the plan who want to bring foreign players. Work on the players and we can't play no football better than foot player them. Because you know what things look nice.
All right, so
Gunners boss. When last have you been to a game?
Oh, geez, Cranky. You know what I was going to ask him? So let me just... So my time to talk now, Gunners boss.
I'm muted.
Thank you. When last have you watched the Jamaica senior team play a game? You may not have gone to a game, but you have watched the Jamaica team. Tell me the last game that you watched.
What that have to do? What me have to do with what you got?
Just,
what that have to do with what we're
just,
talking about?
What
that have to do with someone promote Jamaica?
No.
To foreign reject. Reject player, we can't play
Gunners boss.
That is my personal business. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Gunners boss.
If you don't like what I say,
Gunners boss, so like a MAGA supporter. So like a MAGA.
Gunners boss.
about me.
Gunners boss.
Yes.
Gunners boss. You and I we're having a conversation. You called. You say management this, cranky this. You talk about me, how me talk. You talk about what me saying, and you're wrong with it, and you propose all kind of things. I am trying to have a conversation with you, all right? And I ask you a question. If you say I am not answering, hold on, no. If you say you're not answering the question, I can move on. You say you're not answering the question, all right?
I said no. Before we go any further, no ask me no personal question when we talk about football. Is when I went right down. I try to reject my argument.
No. Why are you saying I'm trying to reject the argument? I'm trying to make a point. So no, it's not deflecting.
About me. Talk about the national team.
So when you watch a Jamaica game, Gunners boss, the last one that you watched, I don't know when that was. The point I'm trying to make to you is that when you're watching that game, you don't differentiate between those players who are locally based and those players who are based overseas. You watch Jamaica play. Right? You watch Jamaica play. So when you're watching the game,
I haven't watched Jamaica play any football in a long time. I watch foreign rejects representing Jamaica. Yeah.
So
me not approve of that.
So you know that Andre Blake is a regular fixture in the Jamaica team, and Damian Lowe is a regular fixture in the Jamaica team. Leon Bailey is a regular fixture in the Jamaica team. Shamar Nicholson, a regular fixture in the Jamaica team. Kemar Lawrence was a regular fixture in the Jamaica team until he aged and he got older, right? And we can go on. So the point I'm trying to make to you is that when you were watching those teams, here is the truth, Gunners boss. When you were watching Jamaica, and that the point I'm trying to make to you is this: wherever the people are from, it is Jamaica that is out there. That's the so let me go. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead. There is a track and field athlete now who is one of the fastest athletes for Jamaica in 200 and 100. He has chosen to represent Jamaica. He is just as important as all of our other athletes. That is the point I'm making. So there is no grounds, Gunners boss, with all due respect, because you're not making it personal. You're saying that don't ask any personal question, but you're making a person assault on people. When you're saying that these people are reject, you're specifically speaking to a group of persons. So the same thing that you're saying that Management, don't ask me any question because I'm deflecting. But you believe that you have a right. You have a right to call people a particular name. And there's something wrong in that.
I believe when you finish, I know I have the right to see Jamaica go through with Jamaican. Like Mr. Trump said, I agree with Mr. Trump when he said, yes, America first. I am putting America there first. I don't see why we going out looking to put the English people, the American people, and the foreign born people them first before we put the one local people them first. I am riding with Mr. Trump on that one. Make America first. We not send no money go over, so and send the resources go over. So
oh, you mean we? You're not American citizen. You mean we? Gunners boss, you talking circles. You're talking parables. You're making no. I call you Gunners. You are being.
If you know this,
no sense. You're making no sense. No sense.
You're being disingenuous. I did not say. I said Mr. Trump said we. I did not say me. Mr. Trump said we are not sending our resources to help people when America first.
Gunners boss, why do you live? Gunners boss, I'm gonna make it personal. Why do you live in America? Why do you live? Why you not living in Jamaica, Gunners boss?
Why am I living in Jamaica?
Why you not living in there? Why are you living in America? The way you talk, why you live in America?
Because the job I can do because I am black and rusty. People want to give light skin, educated people who should do better things. My job. So that's why I leave. They want to give.
I'm saying you migrate from Jamaica. You talk like that's why I understand where speed coming from now. I understand that Rudolph is challenged. If people in Jamaica like you, we're challenged as a people. Seriously.
No,
all right. Challenge.
Yo, Cranky, careful, Cranky. You're going near the line.
Gunners boss.
No, I said no. We talk about your stakeholders, Rudolph. You say your stakeholders.
Oh, my stakeholders.
Yeah, your stake. I'm saying your stakeholders.
Yeah, Gunners boss.
Stakeholders. If they're like Gunners boss, we're in trouble.
Yeah, Gunners boss. 15 minutes gone already. We have Arsenal game coming up, and we have 2 callers coming in. So we'll pick up this next time.
Bring in your callers and bring in Arsenal football. Arsenal winning today.
Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.
Arsenal is gonna lose.
Have a blessed day. God go.
We need to eradicate Gunners boss. You need to go to a Chinese translation camp.
God bless you and keep you and may His face shine upon you.
You need to go to one of them camp, whatever eradication. Wow. There are people like Gunners boss out there for true.
All right. Oh, geez.
It's hopeless. It's hopeless.
Let me just call. People, you have 5 minutes. Robert, welcome to the show.
We're hopeless.
Yeah, man.
My name's man.
Yes, sir.
That speed is still there?
Yeah, man.
I just want to ask him 2 questions.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speed.
Yes,
do you
sir.
know why Jamaicans? Do you know why Jamaicans leave Jamaica to come overseas?
Yeah, me have a son who do it, and me wouldn't do it. So everybody different.
Why do we Jamaicans? Do you think that we want to leave our country to come to wherever we are in the world because we can afford to stay in Jamaica, or we got better life for our families?
Yeah,
hey,
so
Robert, me like when you're talking in your original language.
So Robert, you ask the wrong person. Robert, me's an islander. Me will never live on a mainland. Me's an islander. So, but my son live on a mainland. Relax, my son live on a mainland, and me I go come up and look for him. No issue with where I want to live. I'm good anyway.
But I'm saying we come here and we send back our money to make our family better in Jamaica.
Oh, but the wrong person you come with that with, because from me 22 me I send money to US to people me know. You see problem?
Well, you're
and nobody sending it to me.
Most people in Jamaica are poor. So they
No, I don't know that.
The reason I'm in America, the reason why I'm in America is not because I want to leave Jamaica. It's because I have kids in Jamaica who are trying to make life better for them.
And I'm glad for that. That's good.
And when you come and say these things about this quota thing that you have, with my child my children in America can't, because you say whatever. It's wrong, Mr. Speed. I'm telling you.
But Robert, we passed that already because remember he said that based on what Frank, we passed that already. You just came on. Because remember we dealt with that already, you know.
No. Let me answer him, man.
No, man. Me no.
Why me have to answer him, you see? Robert, is not my policy. Is the whole JFF policy. Don't say me, speed. I might be the bearer, I might be the one willing to talk about it. I like most people, them vote for it and then they don't talk about it. So I am the one who will come forward and talk about it and discuss it and say if there's a better way, which I admit that there is a better way. But I want you to remember this. I am the one too that start to have camps for Jamaican-born nationals in the USA. Nobody has ever done it before me. I may have 4 or 5 now. So be careful who you're talking about. I am the one who just authorized a European-only team with 2 Jamaicans on it to play in Spain. I am that person. I am the one who established a set of past football in England for deal with football in that part of the world. I'm going to do the same in the USA. So when you start talk, you have to have the full argument because nobody before me ever do any of those things. Just to put things in perspective.
All right, the next question is, Mr. Jerome Waite, weren't he the coach that failed us already?
When?
Didn't he have the under 23 team to try to qualify for the World Cup or the Olympics or whatever?
So when he coached the under 20 team in a World Cup qualifier, he got the team
like he's talking about Bookie though.
No, let me talk about Jerome Waite. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think
Waite, no, make we talk about Jerome Waite. The man asks about
No, but he made a mistake, man. Let me just
No, but he
made a mistake.
No, but he want no, he not made a mistake. He want Jerome Waite did carry a team for under 20 World Cup qualifier. He did. So I'm not pretending that him not the man talking foolishness. He did. And when Jerome Waite carried team for national under 20 World Cup qualifier, he did not lose a game. He actually lost out of qualifying on goal difference because Mexico had a better goal difference. We drew with
but that's not what the caller said. That's not what he said.
No, but he got Jerome Waite name, so I'm correcting him at the same time telling what Jerome Waite do.
But you have to, but he said Jerome Waite failed us with an under 23 team, and I'm telling him that was not Jerome Waite, it was Duque.
Right. And I'm telling him that when Jerome Waite coached the he said under 23, under 20. And I'm telling him that when Jerome Waite coached the under 20, he went unbeaten. We missed out by Mexico on goal difference. We drew with Mexico. And Mexico went on to come second in the under 20 World Cup. I have to put that out.
You know, Mr. Speed, listening to you, Mr. Speed, I realized that you made a good choice when you got Algrim to come to coach the national team. But you have been failing at the youth programs, Mr. Speed. You are, as a technical person for you, you have been failing at the youth.
So does all of us. Since 2011, we haven't qualified any team.
You have hired coach. You have hired coach at the youth program, Mr. Speed, and you know the truth. You have been failing us there, Mr. Speed.
So I say yes. So what you talk? I say yes. A fact. I said yes.
For youth program, every coach that you have come on these programs and big up has been failing us at the youth program, Mr. Speed. I think you should step away from that part because you are not doing well there. I'm telling you, if you were a manager, they would have fired you a long time ago at the youth program. I'm telling you.
You're probably right. But hear what going to happen. Hear what going to happen. You see when election, just listen up, Carla. You see when election comes Sunday, I am up for being fired. But suppose the people don't want to fire me. What are you going to do about it? So you have to your opinion, but the people who are here might not want to fire me.
JPL administration, I don't have no.
So you're not believing in democracy.
For Raymond and his team, and I want my quickness to win back because, but Mr. Speed, I'm telling you, you are failed us at the youth program. I think you need to step away from that part of the job.
Okay,
You
I
have
hear
made
you.
mistakes with coaches, and if you fail us this time again, if this U20 team don't qualify, we need you to step down, Mr. Speed. We need you to hand in your resignation, Mr. Speed.
You don't have to repeat yourself, you know, but I'm not
All right.
resigning. I just
All
tell
right.
you.
All right, Robert, because I need to run because I want to catch my Arsenal game, right? Respect every time. I can tell now you're getting seasoned. You're getting seasoned in fire, man. I like the way you know, the new way you're talking right now, man. I'm telling you, man. You know what I'm saying, man. You know,
Hey, man, stop going like the other person come out about people speaking spoken, man.
yeah, yo, you want to get seasoned at the further, you know.
Yeah,
Yo, you know what I'm saying, man. Yeah, hey, Mr. Speed, you need to resign, man, because you know, you
yeah,
feel like
man.
that, man. Yeah, man. Smart choice, man. What you're dealing with, man. You know, I'm saying, man. I've been out here on those blocks, man, just running all around, man. What you saying, man? Welcome to the show, Smart Choice, man. Bless up, man.
Is that how you Jamaicans are?
I just joke. I just joke. Pick up yourself, Robert. Hey, don't go take it serious. Yeah, that's a joke.
Man, you got a lot of kids, man, over there to take care of over here. So don't
My
listen.
Speed, I said money are foreign. Hey, we never hear the one before, you know.
From me at 22, me I send money are foreign. From me at 22, me I send money are foreign.
Wow. You have too much picnic out of Jamaica.
None of them are my picnic.
Yeah, Miguel, welcome to the show. And then we're gonna take one more and close out, you know.
Yeah, man, quickly. Me what I'm listening to Kanki and Mr. Speed and I think Brian that
Yeah.
yeah, here the deal. Man, listen to the whole conversation. Yeah, Gunners past argument flawed. Even though I agree with Mr. Speed and I agree with having a quota, I would approach it from that end that Gunners past talk about it from. But I agree with Mr. Speed 100%, Brethren, because for the under 20 and those teams are for developmental purposes, right? And not that youth overseas don't want development also. But at the same time, Manningspan, we have a serious shortage of certain facilities and things in Jamaica. So any little opportunities that we can reserve in some way or the other for local born players, we should take the opportunity and do it.
Under 15.
Under 15. Is
Yeah.
under 15 they have the quota, right? Yeah.
No, but not under 20. So under 20 are professional football.
Right. So under 15, yeah. So I don't really have a problem with that. And at the end of the day, not all the time you can get the best of both worlds. It would be nice.
And under 15, and let me just say this, under 15 is not quota, is economics. It is not economical. What I'm saying that under 15 is not quota, is economics. It is not economical to bring players from all over the world to play in a non-FIFA World Cup tournament, right? For 2 weeks when they would have developed at a higher and faster level at their clubs. So for those reasons, it has nothing to do with quota, because at no stage there should be the mention of a quota in any of the teams. That's my position. All right. It's for economical reason. All right. Go ahead.
Management, you have to confused right now. Not talk about the quota thing.
Yeah, but Mr. Speed, I've agreed already that the quota team. Mr. Speed, what kind of how am I use on type, man?
No, man, it means he's not a good typer. He didn't learn how to type. Because when he was going to school, typing wasn't a desired discipline to pursue. I'm in the same camp, so I know.
Go ahead, Miguel. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying still in terms of having whatever you call it. We don't have a problem with having a reservation for a certain amount of overseas versus local based player, because I think it's necessary. It's not like we have all infrastructures out there. We have good, we call them we have good systems that outside of the national team or outside certain teams, the national teams, you to develop these players. A lot of them get certain exposure opportunity because of national team. So if you flood it with overseas player at that age, at that specific age, I don't care about the senior teams, but at that age, I think it limits the opportunities. So I understand the perspective where I come from. I may agree with him on that, Brethren. 100%.
So I have a question for you, Carl. I have a question for you. Do overseas athletes like runners, track and field, do they have better facilities than Jamaica, or do they have similar facilities? Are they worse off or better off?
The overseas?
Yeah.
I think they have pretty much similar facilities.
Really? You think so? Okay. I think you have made your point.
I mean, but Cranky, obviously, whatever Jamaica has where athletics are concerned, it is working. It is working. So whether it is more modern or of a higher standard, whatever, it is working for athletics. And obviously, what we have here is not working for the younger youth than as football is concerned.
So the point you're making is that we should change the process. It's not about what you're basically talking about is process and how we execute certain processes. That's what I'm hearing.
A fan. My point is, you're speaking from a fan, and I have no problem. You're right, because all your.
No, I'm not speaking from a fan.
Really?
It's not a fan. It's not a fan perspective.
But Mr. Speed's concern is about development. So both of you are right. That's how I see it.
I understand. Look, the question is the how, not the what. It's not what I'm trying to achieve, is how I get there. If you look in any environment you operate, there's the how and the what. What am I trying to accomplish? And how do I accomplish what I want to accomplish? You can use nefarious method to get to the how, to the outcome, to the what. But should you go that route? Go in any corporation, any environment you go into, there is what outcome am I trying to achieve, which is the what, and how do I achieve that outcome? I could do it in good ways and bad ways. And all I'm saying is that we should revisit how we do it versus what we're trying to do. That's all.
So what are you suggesting? What do you suggest, Cranky? Now we're not that time.
I suggest you look at the entirety of the program, totality of it. You look at the coaching, you look at the players, look at their environment, look at a bunch of different things. Sponsors, everything informs what you're trying to accomplish. And you make it better for the players so they can compete on a global basis. But excluding people to me is never the route to go. And here's the one point I make, caller. There's analogies all over the world to contradict some of what we're saying. And it just happened in the US last year where the Supreme Court, was not the best example to give for anything, frankly, the way they operate nowadays, knocked down affirmative action. And what you're talking about is affirmative action, basically.
Yeah. All right. Bless up yourself. Yeah, man. Smart choice. Yeah, man. All right. So we have, listen, I'm just gonna call back one more person and then we're gone.
Man is almost game time, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That, but this we had a Wayne that was calling. I'm gonna give him a couple of minutes. I think he wants to probably talk to Mr. Speed, and then we just close out the show. Look like he's not there. Going once, going twice, going three times. All right, look like he's not here. All right, bam. All right. So, Mr. Speed, again, want to thank you for coming on. I know it was probably a up and down conversation in terms of how robust some of the discussions were, but I think we have gotten to some place of respectability and understanding of the dynamics of the football, while we understand what you're trying to accomplish and that you have stakeholders that and what I pick up is that a lot of the persons probably in the parishes, these are their sentiments and you had to come up with a compromise. And like you have supported the idea that the quota system is not the best. It is discriminating and there's going to be change to the wording, which is a good place, right? You explain the John Wall situation that he's still employed to the GFF, just not with the senior team. We'll see the outcome of that. So we're glad for the fact that you have brought those clarity. I know you felt like you were attacked by, I think we have the caller calling back. So let me just break and just take the call. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show, Wayne. You have a couple of minutes.
Yes, man. Yes, big up to you and your panel. I enjoy the show, man. But when I even talk about you guys, when I talk about the madman where come on and call the people them reject.
Listen, one thing. But hey,
You know?
listen, it's when Gunners boss talk, leave it alone because him now go stop. Him just go try find out who said that
No,
and him
man,
go continue. I just say him skill, but go ahead and make your point.
no, but every time I listen to the show, him come, me not have no ear on me in my head and come like want to pull out here what me not have, bro. It doesn't matter. But yeah, man, you can't close off, man. Me enjoy the show, you three guys. Me enjoy it, you know?
Oh, you know what's it, Brian?
And Brian, yeah, and Brian. Well, me tell your panel. So me enjoy everybody. Me enjoy the show.
All right, big up yourself then. Yeah, man, I was just calling about because
man,
you're
big up,
calling
yeah.
every time.
Yeah, man. That's what they want just to get off that guy off of the program.
I'm not calling off Gunners boss. All right, cool. You know when time Gunners boss call back, a problem, you know. You understand me? But Mr. Speed, Cranky, I'll let you, share what you have to say in closing as we prepare to watch Arsenal versus Porto. And then we'll allow Mr. Speed, who are several points behind Mount Pleasant as we head into the playoff part of the JPL. I mean, boy, Tapper having lots of success getting through that speed. So I'll give him the last.
No. Hold on. Since Tapper start coach Mount Pleasant, he has 1-2, and me have 1-2 and 2 draw. That's the results.
He has had much success. I said he has had much success against you.
Yes, he is the most successful Mount Pleasant coach against me. But he has only one. But it is dead even right now. Dead even.
But me not wrong.
And Rudolph in the car. In chewing can and Rudolph just move on.
No. But Frankie,
what button to touch? He knew what button to touch. And touch the button.
No, Frankie, you don't know me have to put up with So year one reporter, right? Same with my friend, Now that Tapper beat, so the rule now is Mount Pleasant 6 and Cavalier. No, Cavalier win 5 and Mount Pleasant win 4. No, Cavalier win 6 and Mount Pleasant win 5. Me have to correct him again. No. So far between Cavalier and Mount Pleasant history, Cavalier win 8 and Mount Pleasant win 4. Every time I try inch up, Cranky, inch up the amount, the rivalry, if it's close to me now. No, you're still far away, man.
Yeah, so Rudolph, I'm going to say something, Rudolph. Great point you just made. I'm going to use it against you, though. Rudolph, Mount Pleasant has much more resources than you. And somehow you managed to do better than them, Rudolph. It's amazing how that works, It's amazing what we can do.
I know where you're going. Go on.
Exactly, Rudolph. You have much less resources, and yet you're producing better on the field with much younger players. Just think about that, right? So the point I'm trying to make, people, is this. I'm not trying to get Rudolph. I respect Rudolph. I'm going to say it in public domain. I'm going to say it behind covers. I think Rudolph has a lot of great attributes to help the football. Yeah, some things you need to work on. I'll say in the public domain too. He and I know this. But here's the thing, guys, which is important, which is this. I'm always advocating for things to be done the right way. It's not always going to be the case. I think sports is a catalyst for society at large. And I think the whole Jamaica concept needs to be broadened to think of Jamaica. Like Israel, think of Israel. Not as the little place them live over in Palestine area. Because if you look at who died in the Israeli war, a bunch of them are Americans who have dual citizenship, right? Because they think about it as one Israel. They're Zionists. We got to think about Jamaica that way. And the football and the sports can help bring us together as a people. And we can have robust discussion, but we should never lose respect when we have those. We can get emotional, we can get emotive, we can get hot under the collar. It's about respect. It's about trying to achieve the right outcome. That's what I'm focused on. So I appreciate Rudolph coming on to join us and have this discussion. Management, I apologize earlier for getting too hot under the collar. It happens because we are Jamaican. We all have a certain trigger you can pull. But I'm make Rudolph put up his here again by saying, I am a proponent of transparency. The more we provide information to people, they can take the information, digest the information, understand the information. And the more we provide information that can inform them about what's happening, how things are going, my hope is that they get more involved and they help to support these programs. So it's good being here, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on as usual, Crank. And we understand those things. All right. Mr. Speed was about to have the last word in Battery Dead. So I don't know. Let me see if he will come back up because I need him to. You understand the use of word MF? You know what the man mean, man? I bet these people. I don't know. But you understand what the word, you know what the man mean and thing. All right. So
we're running because it's game time. Game time.
Listen, yeah, and everybody. Yeah, man. All right. Thank you, Cranky. Listen, thanks to everyone for being a part of the show, for coming on. Thanks for all the like. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining I Am Sure Sports. I hope we can, keep you active in terms of our discussion. All right. For all the persons who called in, all the persons in the comment section, really appreciate every single thing. All right. Peso said Arsenal dead today. Worry about Liverpool and not Arsenal. Big up Float Management, Gunners Boss, MF, Jason. I mean, just everyone. Brian, Cranky, Mr. Speed for always coming on. All right. I am Manningsman. This has been I Am Sure Sports. Arsenal is playing, so I have to leave. And at this time, when our show is about to end, we say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.